Where did you meet him?
I got this little bar in Manhattan when I was bartending.
Right.
When I first moved here.
Was it love at first sight? You saw him and you were like, wow. I mean...
not really.
Not really.
Was it the mustache? I mean, what was it? What really got you?
Just his personality, I guess. Just the way he comes across, you know, how he wooed me, per se.
Right, yeah. He has a great way with women.
He does. He really does.
He really does. He's a good guy.
So he kept coming to the bar until he got you.
That's right.
Exactly. That's how it worked.
Let's see. So you made a prediction. You believe Ronnie will marry you within the next 4 years.
Sure.
Ronnie,
when did that happen?
If he doesn't die.
Wait. When did? Hey, shut up over there.
Ronnie,
you got your knife out?
Ronnie, seriously, what about that? You're so anti-marriage. I mean, this woman has stuck with you. She obviously wants to marry you.
She's stuck with me.
She's stuck with you through thick and thin. Come on.
And
what do you think?
I stuck with her through thick and thin.
You won't ask her? Won't you be loving?
Might as well be married.
Aren't you worried about her?
Robin, you go get married first, and then I'll get married.
But Ronnie,
That's
what
a
if
deal?
Ronnie? It's a good point. What if you did? You are how many? There's a 32-year age difference.
Right.
Right.
If you did drop, aren't you worried that Stephanie will not have financial security?
I
Seriously.
got that taken care of.
What do you mean you got that taken care of?
Taken care of.
You looked into that.
I haven't.
She's getting into the coffin with him.
Oh, you're gonna kill her and bring her into the coffin with you.
No, it's taken care of.
Stephanie, is there real concern among your family that you're with a man 32 years your senior?
No, not really. I mean, my parents love him.
They do?
He gets along really good with my family, and he's good with my niece and nephew when I have them all in town. So.
Do you ever say to yourself, I'm young, I'm attractive? I
say it all the time.
All right. Do guys hit on you all the time?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think any more than normal girl, you know.
I would imagine you get hit on a lot. And never do you waver. You always want Ronnie.
Of course.
Ronnie is the guy.
Yeah, Ronnie is the guy.
I don't know. Is that true?
He must. Are you great in bed, Ronnie? Is that the secret?
He's very good in bed.
He is.
He is.
He's
amazing.
masterful. In other words, he's had so much experience as an older guy that he knows what to do.
That must be what it is.
Sal, you're laughing. You somehow don't believe it.
He's good in bed.
Dude, how many times did you
Him good in bed, you mean he just passes out because he's so old as soon as he lays down?
I don't think so.
That's being good in bed.
Would you say you have a very active life,
Very
Stephanie?
active.
Really?
Very
How many
active.
times a week would you? Well, I'm not even going to go into that yet because who knows? That
no,
could be one of the questions.
That could be the question.
That could be.
Anything
Could possibly be one of the questions. I don't even know.
God knows what the questions are.
Are you still masturbating, Ronnie? Or
No, I told you. I said no on the news. I said no, I don't have to.
Wow.
His arthritis won't let him.
Yeah, my carpal tunnel syndrome.
All right, let's meet our second couple, the very beautiful Christine and Sal Governale. Very nice to have you here. So, you two are infamous for being on the show many times. Christine, we haven't seen you in a while. How is the marriage going?
Very good.
You mean it is better?
It's better.
You mean you're feeling more loving towards Sal, or are you just tolerating him?
I feel more loving.
You feel more loving toward him. Really? What changed?
happened?
What happened? Because I can't see why you would change.
He hasn't changed. What happened?
Yeah, what
happened to you?
Oh, Robin.
Christine, did he get better in a sense?
Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah?
We're doing good.
Do you still feel like you want to be loving toward him, loving?
Sure.
You do?
You do?
Sure, if I have to.
Sounds like a no to me, dude.
Does sound like a no. So, many people forget. How did you guys meet?
In college.
In college? Is that right? And Sal, how did you know? Did you know right away when you saw Christine that she was the woman for you?
Oddly enough, I was standing next to my best friend before I even met Christine.
Right.
I pointed to her and said to my friend, I'm going to marry that girl. It's just one of those. Yeah,
That's the woman I'm going to torture.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Christine, don't you wish now in retrospect you'd been anywhere else? What college was this?
Suffolk Community.
Ah.
Bar and grill.
That's it. And so when you met, was it love at first sight for you, Christine?
Yes.
It was.
Really?
I never knew that. Yeah. Because when I first
Why
met
don't you
her,
talk to each other once in a while? Maybe that'll do
when
it.
I first met her, I was so nervous that I talked about a one-night stand that I had the night before, and I thought I kind of blew it.
What a way to charm a woman.
Yeah.
It's absolutely. And Christine, recently you made Sal stop his. He was tweeting for a while pictures of his own penis, right?
Yes.
You put your foot down.
I did.
Thank God.
Yeah. What was that called, Sal?
It was called Foreskin Friday. You know, I would dress up my penis and, different things. Like for Cinco de Mayo, I was Pouchy Gonzalez as Speedy Gonzalez.
Right. So you would take your pouch because you're uncircumcised, and you would dress it up and make pictures. Christine, when did you become aware of this?
Shortly before it ended.
Right. And
the people tip her off.
What happened? You said, "Hey, Sal, it's enough."
What are you doing?
Right. Was it because of the kids you decided?
Yeah, I think it's inappropriate.
Right. Well, all right. Let's meet our next couple. Christine, do you like Elisa? I always see you rolling your eyes when she talks.
I haven't talked yet.
What? Do you guys get along? Do all the girls get along, or are you not into each other?
No,
I think we get along.
You
I
do?
love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love the other women?
I do. I just kind of met Christine. She's wonderful. And
Right.
Stephanie I've met before. She's
Benji and
both
Elisa,
beautiful.
I don't know if it's a shtick, but the two of you can't keep your hands off each other. You're kissing every minute while I'm talking to the other couples. It's almost...
so in love with Benji.
Really, you really are.
I'm very into him today.
But,
Today, because
why
it
today?
changes from day to day.
He's like a politician. He had great sex with me last night. I don't know if it's because of this game.
What makes great slow?
He was slow.
I usually
he did
do that.
foreplay. He usually goes right into the vagina. Last night, he was very
Describe the
nice.
perfect night with Benji. In other words, he kisses you for a long time and plays with your breasts?
Yes, he plays with my body parts before my vagina. That's the best night that it could be.
Did you know about that?
Well, you know what?
know?
Some women...
Isn't that normal?
Some
the way
women...
you're supposed to?
Some women don't want that. Some women want wham bam, right, Christine?
No,
Sometimes you want it to be over really fast,
Who
right?
would want that?
She doesn't want it to start, Howard.
Stephanie, you like a little foreplay? Come on.
Of course.
Oh, Ronnie's a master. Ronnie, you do foreplay, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
Ronnie's the master. Yeah.
Right.
Without
What
a
do you
doubt.
do? What is the special technique, Ronnie, you have with the clitoris? What do you do? Do you know what to
The
do?
what?
He whacks it with his cane.
Put it this way: we have to lay a towel out on the bed.
What do you mean?
Oh my God.
you mean
you have
because
a
she's
urinary?
you mean because she's so excited?
Maybe.
Yes.
Wow. Is that right?
Yeah, it's true.
You will ruin the bed because he gets you so turned on.
Yeah, and we just bought a brand new mattress, so now we're definitely putting a towel down and everything.
Wow, Ronnie must be some kind of magician
We
in
have
bed.
to put a towel out too, but I get real sweaty.
The towel's for you. Elisa, the last time you were here, you had said, and I have tape of it, if I can refresh your memory, you said, Benji, I hate him. Not even I hate him. It was just like, he doesn't do anything for me romantically anymore. You were really kind of down on the relationship. And
He
you
didn't
even,
stand up for you.
and you even said you were going to break up with him. I mean, it was pretty startling.
It's not good right now. He's not willing to go on a limb for me. He's not willing to say, oh, I'm going to get up right now. I'm going to sing with you. What you're saying, you know, he's not willing to like go, only willing to go so far. He's like afraid. And he's like really like a person, but with everybody else, you know, not with me. I just like, I don't like want to like look at Benji, and he's actually not even going to be able to get in the house. Locking Benji out. No, I'm going to lock him out. He like doesn't have my back.
Yes, we're up and down. He actually broke up with me yesterday.
Really?
He threatened to move out, and he wants to move out. He wants to get as far away from me as possible. But then we had so good, so I can't read him. It's hard.
What's going on, Benji?
I
Without
don't know. I really don't know. What?
I love Elisa very much, but
Why did you break up with me yesterday?
Because we
of the
got in a
YouTube
bad
video?
habit when we get in arguments that I break up.
Oh, I see. And you say, have had
And
enough.
I love her, and I'm really committed to her.
So why'd you break up with me? I mean, really.
she's so beautiful. I mean, why? I mean, so her personality must be bad if you're breaking up with her, right? I mean, what could be the reason? It's
I
not
feel
your
like that's my
looks.
strong suit, my personality.
I don't know.
Maybe
Well,
it's
then
not.
what is it? Why can't you get along with her?
No, it's me. I'm not easy. Do you think I'm easy to get along with?
Well, I mean,
No.
you want to be with
Can
other
you
women.
imagine living with me?
No. I mean,
Terrible.
Right.
It
So,
really is.
so he made love to you and everything changed.
It was so good. He really tried last night. He really put in an effort. Like it was. shocking.
Cunnilingus involved?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the
And other things like that, but in other places, whatever.
Oh, he put his tongue up your ass.
For the first.
I did.
It was up there. He doesn't know the
She
difference.
must use fresh and
He doesn't know the difference between parts. He
Well, it
doesn't
was
know.
all great.
Wow.
He did it because of this game. I'm telling you.
And you liked that?
I liked it.
You liked it?
It was good.
Wow. Good for you. Sounds like, when am I going to be doing this?
I like just a kiss on the cheek.
Come over to your house if you want.
You just want to get a kiss.
Yeah, maybe a handshake.
Yeah. Ronnie, you're big into that too. Orals is your masterpiece, right? I mean, you know how to do that, right?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, and you don't mind putting your tongue up Stephanie's ass.
Hey,
I don't mind either.
do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, man.
Stephanie, you enjoy that?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
I'm looking at Gina over there. She looks like she's gonna vomit.
Well, listen, Elisa, so this last night was good between you and Benji, and would you say keep saying he's going to marry you? I don't see evidence of
His
that.
whole family wants me, like his family, his sister, Robin, right? His cousin. They're all trying to get him to marry me and propose to me, and he just won't do it.
What
so.
is the problem, really?
Yeah, Benji. What's the problem?
It might happen. I think it's likely to happen. At this
What do I have to do? Seriously, what?
Yeah, what does she have to do? Let's be honest.
Win this game.
If she wins the game, you'll marry her?
Today? Right now? Here? You will?
I would want to plan out the wedding.
No. Don't worry about that part. Just worry about the proposal.
We'll see.
I have this ring.
I love you.
So if we win, is that something? Is that enough? Really?
It's points towards it.
We better win. Okay.
If you win, will you marry Elisa?
Wow. I'm so excited.
Point
You'll
blank.
have $5,000.
Let's get to the game.
Yeah.
I don't want to propose to her here.
No,
Why
I understand.
not? What's the difference where it is?
Will you
Benji?
propose to Elisa if you win the game?
It's
Can we get
possible.
married right here?
What? All right, so you're not committed.
I am committed.
You're so weird. Why not? What's the difference where it is?
Well, you think you're going to do better than her?
No,
You're
it's
not.
not.
Christine, aren't you shocked how beautiful she is?
If I win, if you propose, I'll give you my money.
Really? I already made a deal with Christina.
Why not? She takes all of mine. What's the difference?
And
I want you to
Stephanie.
get married right now.
Yeah.
You could
Why?
be my bridesmaid, Christina, and Stephanie too.
You can both get lost together.
Ronnie, what about you? Will you marry Stephanie if you win the game?
No,
You will not.
not if I win the game. No.
No.
That's okay. He's
Stephanie,
gonna do
doesn't
it
that hurt
eventually.
when he's so angry about it?
I'm not angry about it.
No, 'cause
We've had this discussion a million times.
Get married already. You've lived
Why?
together. She wants
So
to.
it's good.
Do something for her.
It's good. We live together. It's fine. It's
He
fine
hates
just the
to
way
rock
it
the boat.
is.
He doesn't wanna rock
She
the boat.
wants to get
But she
married.
wants it.
though.
What about doing something for her?
I've done plenty for her.
What have you done?
A lot. Don't
What?
worry about it.
Yeah, what have you
I've
done for her?
plenty for her.
Well, you put
plenty.
the towel down at least.
No, I make her do that.
All right. Now it's time to find out which couple knows each other the best. Will it be Ronnie and Stephanie? Will it be Sal and Christine? Will it be Benji and Elisa?
Who will it be?
And who will win the $5,000, more importantly? Remember, there'll be 15 questions. Each question's just worth 1 point. Every time you get one right, you get another point added. At the end of the 15 questions, we'll see who wins.
There's no bonus question like they do in the-
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
changed all. This is
All
the
right.
newly weird game.
Oh, okay. Just asking.
All right, men. I'm gonna. Now, Elisa, you're grabbing Benji's belly. Is that for good luck, like
I
Buddha?
know that he's nervous, so when I tickle him and I go boop, he gets happy. So
All right.
that's why I'm doing it.
All right, tickle him up, and okay, guys, if you won't mind, leave the room. We're gonna put you in our isolation booth.
Okay, bye.
And now, ladies, it's time to put on our thinking caps. Up, Sal kissing Christine. Very shocking.
The whole object here is to think of what they would answer. How would they answer the question?
By the way, I'm glad you explained that, Robin, because I don't think anybody knows really what's going on. I don't even see my questions. I think I lost them.
Come on.
Well, where are they? Oh, there they are. Okay, thank you. You know, it's hard to be the host.
So much responsibility.
All right. Ladies, here we go. All right. Now, Stephanie, I'll start with you because it seems logical.
Okay.
All right. What would you say your spouse says most annoys them about you? Think about this. What would your spouse say most annoys him about you?
Like when he talks and I don't hear him, and I have to repeatedly go, "What? Like, what'd you say?"
All right. Let's go to Christine. Come on. What would your spouse say most annoys him about you?
I nag.
You nag. You're a nagger?
I don't think so. I have to repeat myself, so maybe that's nagging in his eyes.
Has he ever called you the N-word, nagger?
I'm sure at some
All right.
point.
All right. Let's go to Elisa. What would your spouse say most annoys him about you?
I throw away his papers and his little receipts on his table, and he gets very angry at that.
Why do you do that? I mean, it's important.
They're everywhere. The receipts and jokes and papers and everything, and they're just all over my apartment.
You like to keep things clean and neat.
I'm a neat
All right,
freak, and
all
it's
right.
very messy.
All right, Stephanie, let's buzz through it. What color are Ronnie's eyes?
Brown.
Let's go to Christine. What color are Sal's eyes?
Brown.
And let's go to Elisa.
Beautiful baby blue.
Beautiful baby
Just
blue.
blue, though.
Okay, here we go. Stephanie, if you could change one thing about Ronnie, what would you change?
His temper?
His temper. Does he blow up at you a lot?
Yeah, every once in a while, like nonsense.
What's the last thing you did that he really got angry about?
I made him go to the store with me in Yonkers, and we got a little lost because the address I put into the GPS wasn't the real address. So we were like in downtown Yonkers, and we were supposed to be like on the other side of town, and he just kind of like lost his shit because of that.
You know what's weird about that too? I bet when you were first going out, he wouldn't have lost his shit. That everything would have been fine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That would have been cute.
Yeah, that would have been cute. Oh, don't worry about it, honey. I'm in control. Because it was the idea of just spending time together.
Right.
Who cared if you were lost? You were in love. It was exciting to be in the car together, right?
But then we're talking about Ronnie, so he probably still would have lost his shit in the beginning too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. He is no fun. What are you doing with him? He is no fun. Let's go to Christine. If you could change one thing about Sal, what would you change? Only pick one, Christine.
Everything? You can't say that?
So many to choose from.
Yeah.
I would say sense of direction.
Sense of direction.
He has...
Really?
No, he can't get anywhere.
That's the one thing you would change?
Yeah.
All right.
And he's going to know that you would say that. Okay.
Probably.
Wouldn't it be more stuff like he wouldn't show his pouch in public? Or, I mean, okay, I'm not going to change your answer. Elisa, if you could change one thing about Benji, what would you change?
He's a big nag.
A big
nags
nagger.
me about everything. Take your vitamins. Take these vitamins. Take 10 vitamins. Go to this therapist. Take this podcast down. Oh, take that picture down. I'm embarrassed of it. He's a nag. He's a very big nag.
He's a big nag. You would change that. Okay.
Yeah.
Stephanie, what is the grossest thing Ronnie does in front of you? It's really gross.
I don't even know. Crap.
Oh, come on. It's Ronnie. What are you talking about? Every woman gets a little disgusted over something.
Not really, because I could say like burping and farting, but I kind of do that in front of him too. So
Don't you Dutch oven him? Don't you actually fart underneath the covers and then like lift them on him?
I do, but that probably would be the grossest thing that we burp and fart around each other.
Aren't you afraid that he's going to get turned off by you, make him that smell in bed?
No, I think it's funny because who else can you do that with? Like, you're not going to do that in public with your friends or anything else. Like.
So is your answer farting in front of each other?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to now. Christine's got to have some kind of answer for this one. What's the grossest thing Sal does in front of you? This is for $5,000. You guys better be spot on.
Well, he doesn't necessarily do it in front of me, but he clips his toenails and leaves them in a pile somewhere.
Oh,
and
that's disgusting.
Throw up.
And you throw up. That is gross.
Yes.
Elisa, what does Benji do? Now, Benji must have some gross things he does in front of you.
Other people would think they're gross. I am so turned on by Benji. It's hard to say. Let's see. What would he say?
What is the grossest thing Benji does in front of you? I mean, I just look at him every day and I think he's gross.
Yeah, just showing up.
He's so beautiful.
Really?
It's hard to say.
Are you drugged in any way or no?
He does give me a lot of vitamins. I don't know. Let's see.
Do you have an answer?
He's not gross.
He's so gross.
Do I have to say something so...
You have to say something.
Okay, he's somehow gross. Oh, God. What would he do that's gross?
Our time is running out.
I'm sorry.
All right, that's a pass.
No,
Come on.
Okay, I guess smelling up the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Smelling up the bathroom.
All right.
I like the bathroom.
All right. Does he? You shouldn't the bathroom? You like his smell?
I like it. I like when I go into the kitchen because we have two bathrooms and he has this bathroom by the kitchen and sometimes I walk in there and it just smells really bad. But I like it because it's like, oh, Benji's home, you know.
Oh my God, some
he
people
loved
say,
his scent.
Some people love the smell of cookies baking. And Christine, you're shocked, right? What woman likes the smell of a guy?
I guess something for everybody.
He's a hot guy. What can I say? I don't know.
All right. Good for you. You're a good girlfriend. I'll tell you that.
I love everything about him.
All right. Let's go back to Stephanie, who's with Ronnie. What about Ronnie's behavior do you find to be the most embarrassing? What does he do that embarrasses you most?
Nothing, really.
Nothing?
Nothing. Like,
all right.
Even in his
I'm embarrassed by him every day.
It doesn't bother me.
All right. Okay. Nothing bothers you. Christine, what about your partner's behavior do you find to be most embarrassing?
He pretends. Well, he doesn't pretend. People will talk to him. He acts like he's listening. He hasn't heard a word they said.
All right. Fair enough. Let's go to Elisa. What about your partner's behavior do you find to be most embarrassing?
I guess like when he's supposed to sing and he doesn't sing. Like we're in a band together, he doesn't sing, he refuses.
I would think his singing would embarrass you.
No, he's a beautiful, wonderful singer, and he sometimes just refuses to do it. So.
Stephanie, what famous person does Ronnie look like? What famous person does your lover think they look? All right, what famous person does Ronnie think he looks like? Who does he say?
God. I have no idea.
Does he ever say, I look like somebody?
No.
Does anybody ever say anything to him?
No.
All right, you have
Not
no idea?
Lincoln, not anything. Yeah.
Lincoln? Grandma Moses? Come on. What about that guy with the big mustache? What's his name, Robin? Wild Bill Hickok?
Yeah.
Sure, we'll do Wild Bill Hickok.
Wild Bill Hickok? Okay.
Sure.
Christine. Yeah, Custer. Yeah, I'll say. The Indians are coming. What famous person does Sal think he looks like, Christine?
Well, I don't know if he thinks he looks like it, but a lot of people tell me he looks like Ray Romano.
Ray Romano. Okay, I could see that. And Elisa, what about Benji?
I'd say Bradley Cooper.
All right. Wow.
What?
Really? Yeah. I'm telling you, those vitamins are drugs.
I'm telling you.
Look at his eyes. Look at his actual face.
It's
You're
amazing.
not looking at his face.
I mean,
Check
what?
it out.
These three attractive women, and wow, you guys are all hypnotized. All right, let's go to Stephanie.
Yes.
What's the last thing you did that disappointed your Ronnie? What's the last thing you did that disappointed Ronnie?
Last thing I did that disappointed him.
Come on, think about it. Come on, girls. This is
I
for
know what it
5,000.
was.
Do you, Rod? Can you tell me?
Let's, Stephanie, come on, no help.
I would say probably say if we go out to dinner and I have a few glasses of wine and I just go to bed
Right.
instead of having with him, I just pass out and go
So
to sleep.
passing out and not having.
Yeah.
Christine, what's the last thing you did that disappointed Sal?
Can I use her answer?
Yeah, sure. You pass it. You
That's
avoid.
all the
I'm
time.
sleeping.
I mean, from what I understand in past appearances, you avoid Sal as much as you can, right? It's
No
become
comment.
it's become an art with you.
I'm going with her answer.
Are you going with her answer? Okay, Elisa, what about you? What is the last thing you did that disappointed Benji?
I think I just spend too much. It's either that or shopping something, or we had a fight about a joke that I wrote a joke and he didn't. We had gotten into a fight about it.
What you gonna go with, the joke
Pick
or
one.
the
Pick one.
or the
maybe
shopping?
spending too much. I think
Spending too much
shopping.
money on
Yeah,
shopping. Does
he's-
Benji give you an allowance, so to speak?
He doesn't want to, but
He does. He will give you money and he'll
yeah, but
say,
then he gets mad about it. So it's like, what kind of allowance is that?
"What kind of thing did you buy?"
I mean, I buy a lot of clothes and stuff like, I have
Right.
clothes and spas. I love going to spas.
Yeah, you want to look hot, right? And you want to.
Yeah, I tell him that's how I would be disgusting if I didn't go to the spa.
What do you get at the spa? Manicure, pedicure?
Manicure, pedicure, facial, hair,
whole thing.
massage. I need to be relaxed. When you're dating Benji, you have to be very relaxed.
I understand that.
You
I
need
could
a
agree with
massage,
that.
meditation.
I think all three of you ladies need to be relaxed. I'll be honest with you.
Yes, I think all of you should be on those vitamins, whatever he's giving.
Stephanie, what aspect of grooming could your partner do better?
Gosh, you know what? He does a really good job, like shaving every area that I like him to do.
Yeah.
So I don't think he could really do any better.
What do you have him shave?
I have him shave his back and his balls.
Really?
Yeah.
He shaves his back.
How does he shave his own back?
I don't know. He's got like I think one of those man groomer thingies.
Yeah. He's got a big hairy
Those are-
back.
He does.
Yeah, that's gross, right?
It is kind of gross.
Right. So, is there any aspect of grooming that he could do better?
No, I would say he grooms very nicely.
All right.
He's a clean guy.
All right. I'm telling you, you're going to run into trouble with that. Christine, what do you think? Aspect of grooming.
Brushing your teeth.
He smells, right? His mouth.
Brush his teeth.
Do sometimes you have duty mouth?
I don't like bad breath.
And he has it.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and you say, go brush your teeth.
Exactly.
Right, all right. Elisa, what aspect of grooming could Benji do better?
Benji's absolutely perfect in grooming, but I signed him up for a facial yesterday. I had an appointment for him.
Right.
And he came and he rejected it, and it was very embarrassing.
Why did he reject it?
I really don't know.
So he could clean his skin better? He could do a facial?
He had some dry,
his face.
flaky skin yesterday, and I had the woman all ready to give him a facial, and he just rejected her.
All right. In the interest of time, because this can go on and on and on, I'll give you one more. How's that? One or two more. Here we go. If you could change one physical feature of your partner, what would it be? Stephanie, go ahead.
Maybe a little weight.
He could lose a little weight. He could rip. Yeah, he has no six pack.
No.
All right. Let's go to Christine.
I got to go with the obvious, don't I?
What?
What's
The circumcision.
Right. Is that disgusting? I see it. It looks like a shriveled piece of bacon.
It doesn't bother me, but I know it's a big thing here, so
Was he the only uncircumcised guy you've ever been with?
yes.
Right. Did it freak you out the first time you saw it?
And it was so long ago.
Right. You don't even remember your first reaction?
I blocked it out.
Yeah. All right, Elisa, what is your answer to that?
I actually want Benji to gain some weight. He's getting too
What?
skinny.
Oh, my
He's getting
God.
too
Wow.
skinny. It's not good.
You've got to be on
He's
drugs.
adorable.
This is unbelievable.
He's adorable when he's fatter.
All right, here we go. A couple more. Stephanie, what request has your lover made that you denied?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's truly nothing.
You're open on
I'm
every...
always open to everything that he wants to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Christine, what's the request that your lover made that you denied?
I have no idea.
Come on. This is Intercourse, are you going with? Intercourse. Elisa, what have you denied?
I'll do anything for Benji. There's nothing I won't do for him.
Anal?
Yeah, sure, whatever. He doesn't like anal.
Would you be with another woman for him?
I would. Oh, God. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what he'll say. I don't like that he wants to be with the woman so bad. You know, if he didn't want to be with another woman so bad, I'd probably do it. But he just, maybe he'll say that. Yeah.
All right. If Ronnie wanted to have sex with someone you both personally know, who would it be?
Who would it be?
Yeah.
This girl Brittany that we know.
All right. Let's go to Christine.
I have no idea. Somebody that we both know.
Yeah.
Amy.
All right. Whoever that is.
Exactly.
Elisa?
I think Benji will say Lisa G just because we, like, after we saw our book cover, I don't know, we were talking about, we fantasized about Lisa G this one time. So
Lisa G?
Yeah, I think Lisa G, yeah.
Would you be willing to go to bed with Lisa G in front of Benji?
I got to like Lisa G a lot, and we had this one fantasy about her, and it was
What
good.
was the fantasy?
It's stupid. It's gonna sound really stupid and not even like, but the cookie thing, like I was in an apron and I was baking cookies and I bent over and something like that.
And Lisa went down on you?
No, I was Lisa.
Right.
Benji was Benji, and I bent over.
Oh, you pretended to be Lisa?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding. And you bent over and then Benji entered you?
Yes.
Wow. Look at that, Robin.
Yes. Where's Robin? She left.
He's amazing. I just can't believe what I'm hearing.
Well, okay.
Lisa, sorry.
Well, you know, we're getting a glimpse into the private lives of some of the guys who work here. All three attractive, beautiful women. I mean, there isn't one of you that's a clunker.
Also intelligent.
Yeah.
It's not like I can say, well, they don't have it upstairs.
Very, very, very awesome. All right. Stephanie,
Yes.
Christine, and Elisa, thank you. I'm going to take a commercial break. We'll bring the guys back in, and then the fireworks should begin. We'll find out which couple knows the best about each other. And we'll find out who gets the $5,000, courtesy of our good friends at Playtex Fresh and Intimate Wipes. Before and after, be clean where it counts, right, ladies? You like a clean man.
Of course.
Nobody wants some stink in that bedroom. No one. And we'll be back right after these words from the Newly Weird game. All right, let's get the guys back in here for the Newly Weird game. We're playing the Newly Weird game. The $5,000 grand prize for the Newly Weird game is provided by Playtex Fresh and Intimate Wipes. First place, $5,000. Wow. All right, guys, sit on down. Let's get into this and find out who's going to win the Nearly Weird game. And Ronnie, whoop, who fell down? Benji, you all right?
Yeah. I grabbed his butt. That's all.
Good for you, too.
Yeah.
All right, well, we learned nothing, but let's go on.
Everyone still has clothes on. That's good.
Yes. By the way, we're playing with the following contestants: Ronald Mund and Stephanie, Sal and Christine, and Benji and Elisa. Let's find out who's going to win. All right, first question up. Ronnie, here we go. For 1 point. What would your spouse says most annoys them about you? What's the most annoying thing you do, Ronnie?
When I don't answer her when she talks to me.
Hold up your answer, will you, Stephanie? Because doesn't hear him. I'm going to make that a match.
No.
It is a match.
Good for you.
That's exactly how she described it.
Very nice. All right, Sal, same question.
On the board, Ronnie.
There you go, Ron.
I would say my lack of direction. I'm horrible with directions and driving.
Christine, hold that up, please. When you nag her, you nag all the time.
No, nagging.
Right. Well, you nag him.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
No point for Sal.
Yep, Sal. Same old story. Benji and Elisa. Benji, how would you answer that question?
It's her biggest...
What would your spouse say most annoys them about you?
Oh, I constantly nag her.
Are you a nagger? I mean, are you nagging? Go ahead, hold up the sign. Throw away papers. That Elisa throws away all of your receipts and all that stuff.
It's what you find annoying about her, Benji.
Right.
No, you said what I find annoying.
What would your spouse say most annoys them about you?
Right, that I constantly nag her.
What?
Oh, right. I confused you. I confused the answer for you. I'm sorry. I did.
Over?
Because I'm a bad host. I did up.
Yeah, that was.
Give us a point.
Yeah, I don't know what to do now.
Give us a point. We're nice
All right.
people.
Well, that's not fair to Ronnie and
get a
Stephanie.
point.
Let's make it even. Let's make it a tie, I think, on that one.
Up the question. How do you handle
You know
that?
what? If it
Tiebreaker
winds
question. Tiebreaker question.
Wait a minute. If it winds up in a tie,
Wait, you guys.
we can hold it.
Right.
First of all, we could give Ronnie an extra point and just give them points because that was a screwed up situation.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing, though. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
No,
was
because
asking-
Ronnie would still be
The
ahead.
question I asked Elisa was, what would your spouse say most annoys them about you?
I think there's two ways to handle it.
Go ahead.
You either let it stand or you throw out the whole question for everyone.
All right, I got to throw out the whole question. I'm sorry, Ronnie and Stephanie. I don't know what else to do.
So then Ronnie doesn't have the advantage of having answered.
I don't know what to do,
We'll figure it out.
Robin.
Give us the point. I think you deserve the point.
Don't give it to
One
me.
way or the other. So
In real
But
game
this
shows.
way, you're funny.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, in my ass.
Right.
Rob, I'm getting that way. I got the wrong question.
All right, I'll tell you what, Benji.
Why did you
I'm
get
going to
the
ask you a question since Sal and Christine knew the question.
Okay.
And I asked it right to them.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a different question that I won't ask the other couples. How's that?
Okay, that's
Okay.
good.
How's that? All right. I say.
I
don't want to piss up in the worst way. All right. I said to Elisa, if you could change one physical feature of your partner, what would it be?
Okay. What
Now-
she would change about me.
I don't want to host this anymore.
Why do you ask such complicated
Right. I
questions?
said to Elisa, if you could change one physical feature on your partner, what would it be? She would change one of the physical features.
Gain more weight, bigger stomach.
Get a bigger stomach.
Yeah.
Well, that happens to be right. That's what she said.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you
Ask
do
for
get it.
something
All right,
else.
so you got a point. Yeah, I figured out a fair way to do it.
I don't know if Sal got the question asked correctly either.
Oh, Robin. He did.
Well,
You
Christine
sure?
said she misunderstood it, but that's okay.
By the way, we're never playing this again. I don't understand the game, and neither does anyone else.
I understood
So
it.
the game is tied 1-1. Go ahead, Christine.
The question you just asked him, you asked us all already.
I know.
Okay.
I know I did. I'm eliminating that question for the rest of
okay.
you.
Gotcha.
I wanted to make it fair. That's the
Now I
fairest I could come up with.
Perfect.
Robin,
Now
you
you'll
agree.
have to remember what number that is so they can
Right.
throw out that card.
All right. All right, Ronnie. We asked Stephanie, what color are your eyes? What did she say?
Brown.
Let's hold up the card. Brown is correct. See, now we're back on track. All right. Christine and Sal. We said, Sal, what color are your man's eyes?
My eyes, she would say brown.
That is correct.
Cool.
All right, Benji, same question.
Blue.
That is correct. Blue, you all have a point. Here we go. Let's keep going. We asked Stephanie, Ronnie, if you could change one thing about Ronnie, what would you change?
That was the question you weren't supposed to ask.
No, that's a physical feature. This is anything.
Ronnie, that's the question. If you could change one thing about your partner, what would you change?
What would I change?
Don't me up now, because I
What
finally.
would she change?
What would I
about
change?
him?
I said to Stephanie, if you could change one thing about Ronnie, what would you change?
Probably my attitude.
Let's hold it up. Temper. I'm going to say that's a match. Very good. Okay. Sal, we said to Christine, if you could change one thing about Sal, what would you change?
To drink less?
To drink less. Christine, what'd you have? Sense of direction.
Oh, Jesus. That's the
Sense of
first answer I gave. Everything's ass backwards in this relationship. That's all right, honey.
What do you mean everything is ass backwards with the
Well,
relationship?
he's got the right answers, but to the wrong question.
Right, exactly.
Is that how the whole marriage has been going?
Yeah. Right.
You're upset.
It's not A and B. It's like A and W, you know.
Now, you two have been together the longest out of all of the couples. You should take this thing. If I can manage to ask the questions properly, it'll work out for you, I think. All right?
I have faith.
All right, Benji. We said to Elisa, if you could change one thing about Benji, what would you change?
Was she allowed to answer the same question?
We said to Elisa, if you could change one thing about Benji, what would you change?
To be cuter more often.
To be cuter more often. Hold up your sign. What is it? To stop the nagging. The nagging. What is that, Elisa? I can't hear you.
I said
She's just saying nagging.
Benji,
she says you nag her.
What?
It's very confusing.
Why is it so confusing?
Do you have another question for us?
No.
Are you sure no question will answer anything?
You repeated the question.
I repeated it.
Ask us about anal.
No,
ready.
What do you want from me? These are the questions.
It's English.
I don't know why you're not understanding. What?
Let's put a stop to this, Benji. Howard made that. He might have been the first one. That question was very clear. Don't act like you don't know what it meant. Let's move on.
I thought you said it was the same question.
Doesn't matter. You're not getting another question.
It's okay.
All right, here we go. Stephanie and Ronnie. We said to Stephanie, what is the grossest thing Ronnie does in front of you?
What was her answer, Ronnie?
I'm thinking. Shut up.
Robin, thank you for the help.
Right to you.
Yeah. We said to Stephanie, what's the grossest thing Ronnie does in front of you?
Grossest thing I do in front of her?
We're running out of time.
Probably when I fart in bed.
Farting in bed, farting in front of each other. It's a match.
That's it. Boy, you two know each other very well.
We said, they're in the lead, by the way. I must say, Ronnie and Stephanie have 4 points, 1 for Sal and Christine, 2 for Benji and Elisa. We're playing for $5,000, and we seem to be on track now with my hosting. All right, here we go. Sal and Christine.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We said to Christine, what's the grossest thing Sal does in front of you?
Where do we start? I would say the thing that really repulses her is when I either pick or blow my nose at the dinner table. She gets so disgusted.
Pick or blow the nose at the dinner. She said leaving toenail clippings around for her to find.
For Christ's sake.
What do you mean, for Christ's sake?
Every time we eat, when we're done eating, I blow my nose and she goes, ugh, you're going to make me vomit. She yells at me every day at the dinner.
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Christine, what happened there?
I forgot.
You're going to forget the 5,000 too, because we're not getting it.
Benji and Elisa, the following question, Benji. We said to Elisa, what's the grossest thing Benji does in front of you?
Sorry.
Benji's phone is ringing.
Oh, gee.
Why did we include Benji in bed? I don't even understand.
I
Go ahead.
tried to tell you.
You were right. You're always right.
She turned her off. Answer, then
Benji, turn off your phone.
Oh my God! Who's calling you, by the way, right now?
All right, it's not.
You're so annoying. How do you stay with
It's
me?
hard. It's not easy, believe me.
Wait a minute. His phone never rang during the show ever.
It's an alarm. We want to make sure we're up in time for this.
All right, what is the grossest thing? What is the grossest thing that you do in front?
I guess fart also.
Farting. What did you say, Lisa?
It's kind of like that. It's very similar.
No, smelling up the bathroom.
Smelling up
I'm not
the
going to. She
bathroom.
likes when you shit in the bathroom. She loves smelling
I like it. I like the smell.
Yeah.
I told him.
Yeah, she loves when you shit.
Elisa just stunk up the bathroom in our bathroom.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I did not.
She went in the bathroom and then somebody went in there from Howard TV.
That is not true.
Well, that's what they told me.
I peed. He was in there with me, actually.
No. The first time you went in.
Oh, really? You think I would go in there?
I don't know. I was just told that. That's
okay,
all
right. Well, who told you that? Who told you
Somebody
that, Ron?
from Howard TV.
Who? Who's the name?
Whoever went in there.
Who's the name?
I'm
I
not
want to
gonna-
know
I'm
who's the
not-
name.
I'm not a
Tell me.
rat.
I think I could guess who's the name.
Who? Who do you think said it?
Rhymes with...
Oh, Richie? You don't get along with Richie, do you?
No, I mean, you know.
Why?
Anyway, that's what...
I don't understand
I can
that.
guarantee that that's the person who said it to Ronnie. Ronnie, is that true?
I'm not saying.
He claimed you took a dump in the bathroom?
Such a genius. I know everything.
You did not take a dump.
I did not. Benji was in there with me watching me. I would never do that in front of him.
All right.
Nice try.
Ronnie, here we go.
You are.
I'll lick that.
All right,
lick
here we
his
go.
too.
Let's keep playing the game. The score is Ronnie and Stephanie 4, Sal and Christine 1, and Benji and Elisa 2. It's exciting. $5,000 prize. Lots of questions to go. Anyone's game. Here we go. Are you ready?
Ready?
Ronnie. We said to Stephanie, what about your partner's behavior do you find to be the most embarrassing? What is it you do that embarrasses her the most? Got to be something you do that embarrasses her.
I don't know. Probably when I drink, I get up at a party or something.
When he drinks, what did you say? Nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
Well, no point there.
You're perfect, Ronnie.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Sal and Christine.
All right.
All right, here we go, Sal. We said to Christine, what about your partner's behavior do you find the most embarrassing?
I would say when I drink and make fun of her. I make fun of her a lot. Poke jabs at her when I,
you don't listen.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Boy, Christ's sake, it's
apparently
getting a big
she doesn't
workout.
listen because you're getting all the answers wrong.
That was a perfect opportunity to move into a better position. I mean,
yeah, the position at the door as soon as I go.
What?
No.
Christine,
you gotta help me here. You gotta.
Christine.
Times are tough. I got bills to pay.
Christine, come on. He wants to win.
He's got a lot of drinking problems, apparently. Everything's associated with
Well, when I drink, I don't remember. I don't listen.
Benji, we said to the very beautiful Lisa, what about your partner's behavior do you find the most embarrassing? Go ahead.
I don't do this anymore, but maybe like looking at other women.
Looking at other women. What did you say? Refusing to sing.
You know, in the band.
Oh,
That embarrasses her.
I'm sorry. I'll sing right now, baby.
You look like that's famous, Ronnie.
Jesus.
That's what I
What
said.
question is that?
Right. Who do you think that you look like that's famous?
Who else has that beautiful face?
Right.
Oh, who's that guy with the mustache?
Who's that?
Who's that guy with the mustache?
They make fun of me all the time on Twitter. It's what is that?
Colonel Sanders?
Yeah, exactly. Colonel Sanders.
All right, Colonel Sanders.
Sanders.
We have Wild Bill Hickok.
Close.
Close, but no cigar.
He's a little younger.
Sal, what famous person does your wife think you look like? What famous person does your lover think they look like?
Well,
Who do you think?
No,
Who do you
who
think?
do you think?
I said, I'm going to clarify because I'm very nervous here.
Okay.
I don't want anybody up.
You got it.
I said to your beautiful wife, what famous person does Sal think he looks like?
Who do I think I personally look like?
Right.
If I had,
Yeah,
to,
you
if I,
look
right. I don't think I look like anybody, but people have said in the past, I'm going to say Lorenzo Lamas.
Lorenzo Lamas. Wrong. Ray Romano.
Yeah, I do get that.
Lorenzo
My
Lamas.
Aunt Annie used to always call me Lorenzo Lamas.
Christine, this was a case where you were right.
It's a waste of me getting up early. Go ahead.
I smell you guys still being broke. All right. I mean, maybe you'll win the money, but I don't know. It's getting slimmer and slimmer, your chances. Benji, we said to the beautiful Elisa.
What's the matter with me? What's the matter with you? I blow my nose every day and you're yelling at me.
Easy.
All right, I'm sorry.
Security.
Christine, is this how it goes at home?
We ignore him.
Poor woman. All right, here we go. Elisa, Benji, we said to your girlfriend, what famous person does your lover think they look like? Benji, who do you think you look like? That's famous.
I never said it. Can I say that I don't look like anyone?
You could say whatever you
I'll
want.
say I don't look like anyone.
You don't look like anyone.
This is unique.
Lisa, what did you say?
Oh my God, Bradley Cooper, obviously.
Obviously, you look like Bradley Cooper, the world
eyes.
star.
with you, Benji.
Everyone always does that. God.
Wow.
I like to meet those
Who
people.
says that?
Who's everyone?
Everyone on
Name
Twitter
one person.
and message
Bring 'em in here.
boards.
On Twitter, people say he looks like Bradley Cooper.
I heard it a few times.
Wow.
He looks like him. Look at his face. If you zoom in on his face,
Like an
and you
obese
zoom in
Bradley Cooper?
On Bradley Cooper's face, it's the same face.
I would say you have to get really, really close.
Can we
Like
zoom in? Do we have a macro lens? We want to zoom in on that. Well, good for you, Benji. Obviously, that's a big compliment. He's the world
You're
six-man.
better, honestly, but well.
Wow. All right. Well, okay. There's a woman in love.
That's not close enough. You got to keep going.
Ronnie, you're still winning, so let's maintain your lead here. Here's your next question. We said to your beautiful girlfriend, Stephanie, what was the last thing you did that disappointed her? What did you do that disappointed her?
Nothing.
Nothing. Let's see the answer. Passing out without. You got that. In fact, explain it to
No,
him.
wait a minute. That was the wrong question again.
No.
The question was the last thing she did that disappointed him?
What was the last thing you did that disappointed your spouse?
Right.
That I did. He thought
That's what we asked.
He was answering
I said
what
we
he
asked
did.
your beautiful. He answered wrong. I asked the right question because I said, "What did we said to your spouse?"
I think we should
I'm
get a
right,
point for that.
Robin. I'm right. I'll go to the judge.
All right. These are. I don't know how this keeps happening.
No, they don't understand me. One time
Well,
I thought.
either you don't understand or they
I
don't
did not
understand.
up a second time.
All right, just be very clear
Sal,
and
I'm
slow.
very clear. Sal and Christine. We said to Christine, what was the last thing you did that disappointed your spouse?
Right. The last thing Christine did that pissed me off would be her wanting me to go away skiing for the weekend. I said, you know, I don't want to get
What
hurt.
did you say, Christine?
Not that.
Passing out without.
That's
Aren't you
every
always,
day.
Yeah, but so does it. But she's right. Doesn't
Are
that
you
always?
disappointed?
It's become the norm, Robin. It doesn't equate to the last thing. It's just, you know.
You two are not on the same page. I'm getting that impression.
You know, this reminds me of when I play this stupid game.
All right, here we go. Okay, Elisa and Benji. We said to Elisa, Benji, what was the last thing you did that disappointed your spouse? What was the last thing you did that disappointed your spouse?
No,
This is what we said to Elisa. I'm going to say it again.
I got it.
What was the last thing you did that disappointed your spouse? So what did she do that disappointed you?
Right.
Well, that's how you should have put it to begin
What
with.
do you mean? That's what I said.
All right, come on.
What was the last thing she did? She do?
I fucked you?
Go ahead.
I did
Let's
not.
stay.
Believe me.
Benji, go ahead.
Like spending too much shopping.
Elisa spending too much money. That's it.
What's our score?
You have 3. Ronnie and Stephanie are in the lead with 4. And Sal and Christine have 1. I think it's statistically impossible. Can you turn that off?
That better not be another girl.
All right.
Seriously.
Ronnie, I'm going to be as clear as I can be.
Sorry.
Okay.
We said to your beautiful girlfriend, what aspect of grooming could your partner do better? What aspect of...
Wait a minute.
I'll say it again,
They're
Ronnie.
talking and I can't hear.
Sorry.
Ronnie, we said to your beautiful girlfriend, what aspect of grooming could your partner do better?
Meaning Stephanie.
No, meaning you. What
We said to Stephanie, what aspect of grooming could you, Ronnie, do better? Doesn't matter if I read it to you the right way. You still don't have an answer.
Fuck off. You're on the last one.
No, I didn't. I read it to you properly.
No, you didn't.
Gary
So
said
get
I
this
did.
one.
All right, whatever.
All right, Ron, what aspect of grooming could you, Ronnie, do better?
I don't know. Maybe lose a little weight.
Lose a little weight.
Grooming. But
Oh,
that's
grooming.
not grooming. Losing weight's not grooming.
Shave my balls better.
Shave your balls better. What did you say, Stephanie? You said nothing.
Because
He does.
you do that already. You already shave your balls and your back.
See,
Nothing.
she should have given an
You do
answer,
it.
right, Ronnie? That's what I told her. Don't say I feel on that one.
No, you didn't.
All
You should
right.
get a point for the
Last
other
one
though.
maybe, but not
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
one.
the other one.
I agree with the last one.
All right. Looks like you're winning anyway. Sal and Christine, we said, what aspect of grooming could you, Sal, do better?
Right.
Don't think so hard. Just answer.
Coach him a little. Okay, go ahead.
Is brushing your teeth grooming? I don't.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I'll say brushing my teeth.
All right. She said brushing your teeth. You
Thank
finally
you,
got one.
Sal.
Said you had
She
shit
said
breath.
the right thing. She
She
said,
said that's an excuse to get her away from me, Robin. My breath
No,
doesn't
but
smell
she-
when she wants my money.
no, but you know what she said? Stop thinking. And you got it right.
As soon as you think, you get it wrong. Sal, you say your breath really does smell good.
My breath, I'm laying in bed. I want a little action. Comes, oh, your breath smells like a sewer. So she knows I'm too lazy
Brush
to get
your
up and
teeth.
brush my teeth, so I roll over and go to sleep.
Is that my fault? Brush your teeth. I
But
don't
no.
know.
So you're saying your breath smells good.
I've grabbed my
Smell it
children
now.
who don't lie, and I said, smell daddy's breath. And like, Dad, there's not a thing there. It's perfect.
Right,
And
right.
she's like, oh. Like I just ate out a horse's ass with this.
Christine, is it true that perhaps you are using that as an excuse to keep Sal
Can
away?
somebody smell his breath now?
Go ahead, Benji will. Benji, smell his breath.
I had some coffee. I mean,
Go ahead, smell his breath.
Be careful.
oh, God.
And answer honestly.
Oh.
How's it smell?
Come on. You
heard the...
I want someone normal to smell it.
Hey, wait a second.
How does it smell?
There's a slight. It's not a bad smell, but there's a smell to it, maybe for the chemical cigarette you do. But I don't think it's that
Would
bad.
you kiss him, Benji?
I have a cup of coffee in front of me. Right, but it's not a bad
coffee.
Does it smell like...
Stephanie, would you smell Sal's breath?
No, I don't want to do it to
I
a
was
girl.
like, if I have to.
Yeah, all right,
Only if I
all
could smell her pussy. All right, game over. I'm out of here.
You're not getting laid for a year. That's the kind of stuff you have a problem with Sal, right? When he says stuff like that,
Yeah.
right, Christine?
Right.
Yeah.
And he actually does it.
Right.
Yeah, I smelled Ronnie's pussy the other day.
All right, Benji and Elisa, let's get down to it. Please, Elisa, keep quiet now. Don't give that answer out. Okay, we said to Elisa, what aspect of grooming could Benji do better? No cheating.
Can I say like as much as 15
No,
seconds?
don't say anything, or I'll take away a point.
Okay.
Go ahead, Benji.
I know she it's either my breath or my beard. Or I'll say nothing.
Nothing. All right, what did you say, Elisa?
Wiping better?
No.
Tell them what you said.
It's like, you know when I tried to get you a facial yesterday and you wouldn't go.
Clean his skin better.
You have flaky
I like him
skin.
at the spa. He's great at the spa.
You're gross on your face.
No, it's not it. I want him to have a nice spa experience.
All right, okay. Well, the score is still Ronnie and Stephanie in first place, Sal and Christine in last place, and Benji and Elisa right in the middle.
All right.
There's only a
Still
point
win.
separating
Oh, my God,
the
Benji.
two, the leader from the second place. Okay, here we go. Are you ready, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Ronnie and Stephanie. Ronnie, what sex we said to Stephanie, what request has Ronnie made that you denied?
Howard, can I
Yes.
just jump in? I don't mean to interrupt, but is this the question you skipped? Do they need to get rid of their cards? I think this might be the...
I don't know. I lost track. I would think
What
so,
was
yeah.
the question?
This is the same one, yeah.
I don't know.
He's right.
I can't wait for this to be over.
This is the one we skipped. This isn't the one. This isn't the
No,
one.
this
This
isn't
is
the
the
one we
same-
skipped. We
Yes,
did
it
skip
is.
one, but we'll see what happens when you hold up your card. You might be a card or two out of line.
Okay.
What request have you, Ronnie, made? Hold on. I'm going to start again. Stephanie. Stephanie, we said to you, Stephanie, what request has Ronnie made that you denied? You asked her for something, Ronnie.
Nothing.
Nothing. The answer is, skip that card.
this card.
Yeah, go ahead. It's nothing. That's right. All right. That's another
Let's
point.
split the money, Stephanie.
All right, let's
that's
go.
my card.
Let's
No,
go
let's
to
split it. Seriously,
Sal
we might win.
and Christine. Sal and Christine. Sal, we said to Christine, what request has Sal made that you denied?
No brainer.
Go ahead.
BJ.
Blowjob. And she said, intercourse. Actually,
Well, doesn't that qualify?
no, intercourse is
Any
what she
kind
said.
of
Sal, you've often... I thought she was going to say BJ because you always say you want a blowjob and you
Yes.
don't get it, right?
Never. I mean, that's okay. It's her option, but
Never heard that.
apparently you don't. Every time I ask, you're not hearing it. No, definitely blowjob. Definitely. Well,
Christine, what about blowing him once in a while? Could you do that for him?
You don't have to smell his breath. though.
What are you going to do? What is that you say?
I'll blow him with a gun in 1 second.
It's funny. A lot of women do not like to give blowjobs. It's not their thing.
right.
Certainly, you could be understanding of that, Sal.
I am.
He's understanding of everything.
Have you given up, Sal? Was there a time you used to argue about stuff like this?
Oh,
with you?
yeah.
You've given up.
2 words you get by. I agree. That's it. Whatever she says, the sky can be purple. I agree.
Christine, do you think if he was circumcised, it might be easier?
Maybe.
Maybe that's it, yeah. Because it collects a lot of
Kinda dirty
schmegma.
in there, huh,
Yeah,
Chris?
it's a little dirty in there.
Oh, geez.
Christine, he probably doesn't groom all that well down there, does he?
No, he does. He does.
He does. Okay.
I was going to say, he's always in that pouch. It's got to be clean.
It's always cool when he puts a Mexican hat on it.
That's why I take pictures of my dick. It's the only thing I could do with it.
All right. Benji, this is a big question for you guys, for you and Elisa. We said to Elisa, what request has Benji made that you denied?
I never do this anymore, but threesomes.
Yes.
Threesome?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Hell yeah.
Threesome with
You're
another
coming
woman.
on.
Very good.
What's our score? 4-4?
No, it's 5-4.
We'll split it with you, Stephanie. Yes, we will. We'll split it with her if she wins.
And
Stephanie.
please don't tie because I don't have a game plan for that. One of you get this wrong, please.
All
It's the
right.
Wait a
final
minute. Will
question.
you split it with Steph if you win?
Yeah. I'm making a deal with her right now.
But Stephanie, what
I
about
want to go on
that?
vacation.
Sorry.
Stephanie, would you, since Sal and Christine are out of the running,
Yes.
and you are winning right now,
Yes.
Ronnie and Stephanie are winning. What Elisa's proposing is
It's like Survivor.
that no matter what happens, that she would split with you. Are you interested in such a deal?
I can't. I'm sorry. That's my down payment for a new car. I can't.
Of course, you're winning. Why would you?
We might win this one. Oh,
You do have a shot.
we did
All
a
right,
shot.
here
All
we
right,
go.
all right. I
Final-
just thought I'd put it out there. Yeah.
If we win?
No, they're not going to win.
That would be insane. All right, here we go.
They're
Here we
not
go.
going to win. Okay.
We don't even need to answer.
All right, for the first time, I'm going to go to Benji and Elisa
Oh,
first.
good.
Okay. This way it'll give Ronnie some
let's
time
do
to
it.
think this time. All right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We said to
gonna be sorry.
Elisa, Benji,
Listen carefully.
if your lover could have with someone you both personally know, who would it be?
That we both know. Personally, okay, so it's not okay. Lisa G.
Wow, there you go.
Yes, you got that
Thanks to
right.
you.
Lisa
Oh, I hope
once again.
I hope
Hell yeah.
Ronnie and Stephanie get this right. For she giggles, as they say. Let's go to Christine and Sal.
Now we both know.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a few, but to zero in on one particular person, could it be a relative as well? Anybody?
Oh my God.
No, not my relative. I would say
A relative.
It's not a relative. Let me help you out.
Oh, man.
I'm going to say her friend Lorraine.
Say Lorraine, but
All right.
What'd you say?
She said Amy.
No.
Because your phone.
Sorry.
Please, this is great suspense. Now, let me explain what's going on. There's a tie between Ronnie's team and Benji's team. Benji and Elisa's team. Ronnie and Stephanie. Now, Ronnie, if you get this right, you win the whole thing. If you tie, what are we going to... Can we just split the money if you tie?
Yes, Stephanie,
Yeah,
I already said.
No, she said
No,
if
Stephanie.
I don't want to go into a tiebreaker. Would you guys agree to split the money?
Yes,
if you
I
win?
would. I would absolutely agree.
Stephanie and Ronnie,
Come
would
on,
you agree?
Stephanie, the car,
Stephanie
how
and
much could it
Ronnie,
be?
would you agree to split the money if we have a tie?
I guess.
In the case of a tie.
Yeah, because I don't have a tiebreaker question, and I'm sick of this. I can't wait to throw you all out here. All right. Ronnie and Stephanie, if you get this right, you win the whole thing.
Have to
If you get this right, you win the whole thing. I'll repeat the question. Ronnie, we said to Stephanie, if your lover could have with someone you both personally know, who would it be?
I could have some.
If you, Ronnie, could have with someone you both personally know, who would it be?
Could I say that I took it as a...
Nothing. You can't give a clue.
Why when I watch the Newlywed Game, it seems so controlled, and now when I host it, it's a mess. I'm a host. Yeah.
Most people are better screened.
Yeah.
What do you mean? We're good. We're good people.
No, the questions are written better.
His phone's been going off the whole game. Where does that? Where else
But
does
we
that
still
happen?
might win, even with the phone.
All right. Let's everyone quiet down. I know you're excited. He's so excited. Just calm down. I know you're excited. Ronnie, this is your time to shine or blow it all.
Oh my God.
Somebody we both know.
Answer the question.
I said to Stephanie, I'll repeat it one more time. If your lover could have with someone you both personally know,
I'm excited.
who would it be?
Brittany.
The answer is Brittany. You win the whole thing.
Wonderful.
Split it. You still want to split the money?
Wow. Thank God.
Oh,
Get a new pacemaker,
But
Ronnie.
no, we should win half because we only been together a year. They've been together 6 years.
Hey, take
They've been
it
together
easy.
for 20 years and they don't know each other.
Easy.
not going to win.
Sorry.
Isn't it?
Sorry,
Let's
Christine,
first of all,
Sorry.
Christine and Sal,
Congratulations.
you've been together how many years as a couple?
17.
17 years, and yet you got the least amount right. You only got 2 right out of a lot of questions. Christine, what does that say to you?
We almost won.
He thinks too much. He's overthinking.
Yeah, he's thinking it too much. He overthinks. He does.
Right.
All right. Benji and Elisa, very impressive for a couple that's...
1 year.
One year.
And we always have Lisa G.
Well, yeah, Lisa G, we'll see you after this.
Right.
Want to go to lunch?
Would you guys have Lisa G in your bedroom at all?
Sure, yeah. If she wants to come, we'll have her in there, and she could bring
I
cookies.
would love to hear about
I'd
that.
love to be a fly on the wall for that.
And,
You're invited too. Bring your money.
Stephanie and Ronnie, congratulations. How long have you guys been together?
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6.
6 years this May.
You really know each other very well, don't you?
Yeah, and I would have had the other point if I wouldn't have known the question.
Yeah, you would have got that.
Blame me. Blame
I
me.
will. But hey, what? We still won. Man.
You still
Yeah.
won. So So there's no controversy.
He didn't
Thank God.
hold you back.
Thank God. All right. The $5,000 grand prize. Stephanie, what are you going to do with the money? Clearly, it's yours.
New car?
New car.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You're getting
Can we
a
go
new
in your
car.
car?
Getting a new car.
Didn't you guys just get a new car?
He
No,
got a
I
pace
did.
car. I still
No,
drive
she's
around
got-
a shipbox car that.
What do you
Rain's inside
drive?
it. A 99 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
A what?
It's a 99 Mitsubishi Eclipse. It's a convertible.
What are you going to get? What are you going to get if you...
Probably the Pontiac G6, another convertible.
Wow, all right, very nice. The $5,000 grand prize for the Newlywed Game is provided by Playtex Fresh and Intimate Wipes for before and after be clean where it counts. Because you two ladies are so beautiful, each of you will get $500 as a little
thank
runner-up
you.
prize.
We love those
Christine,
wipes.
what are you going to do with the money? You look disappointed.
Get an attorney.
Go to Mexico for divorce.
Good for you. Finally, a good answer. And Elisa, what are you going to do with the $500?
I'm going to New Orleans to visit my family, and you know.
500?
Yeah,
What are you,
I'm taking the train.
Taking the train. All right,
Get around it.
Yeah.
All right,
She
from
was
behind.
walking, now she's on the train.
I got to tell you, Robin, I'm exhausted from the game.
Yeah, it was a very tough hosting job.
It really, usually I'm right spot on. I have to admit, I give myself a D- as a host, but I apologize to my audience and to the contestants. But all right, all turned out fine. We worked it all out. And we'll be back right after these words from the Newlywed Game.
Gary, I know what you're going to ask.
I know.
There's nothing on my phone.
I don't care.
No, look.
I got you.
I swear on my life.
know.
Look at everything.
It's okay.
Ronnie, congratulations, $5,000. Please, can we come in the new car? Are we allowed in?
Sure you are.
Sure. We'll drive. We'll be in the back seat.
Mr. Munn, Stephanie.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
I mean, quite the victory today.
I think so. It was a close game, though. It was close.
Do you
Just
take...
proves I love my girlfriend.
Exactly.
We're on the same page.
So this is more than a game to you guys. This represents how well you truly know each other.
Ooh. I think so. I think this shows that we have a strong relationship and that we do good together.
That you can sequester one of you, ask a bunch of questions, return, and you'll always be on the same
And I would have
page.
had one more point.
Yes, you would
if
have
I
got
would've
that.
Got the question straight. So anyway,
If
we
you
still
would've-
won no
yeah,
matter
we
what.
did. But you would have got that one too.
Yes.
More in love than ever, safe to say right now.
Of course.
Oh, she's in love now. She's getting a new car.
I'm very excited. I'm ready for it. My car rains. It rains inside of the car when I'm driving it. So I want to have no wet car anymore.
Sunnier days ahead.
That's right.
Congratulations,
Thank
you two.
you.
Now go to work.
Yes, I have to go to work now. I have to go take care of little
take care of the
puppies and kittens and make sure they get healthy so they can go home.
Better than taking care of Ronnie.
Exactly. It is.
I'm easy to take care of. Believe me.
I don't know about that, but
Yeah, okay.
Kisses.
Benji, Lisa, I'm sorry things didn't turn out the way you wanted them to earlier, but...
it was very messy.
Oh, and the third part, the missing piece of the puzzle here.
After that cookie book cover, it was so hot.
Right.
We Googled it and we looked it up, and it was so beautiful. Howard did such a great job on the photo. Lisa looks so hot in it. We had to have a fantasy. I'm sorry. We just had to. A lot of men, I'm sure, did.
Lisa, do you echo this sentiment?
That I want to be involved with them?
No, just, are you flattered at least?
Oh, so flattered,
Would
yes.
you ever be in a Benjalisa sandwich?
Yes, the answer is yes.
No, but I'm very flattered that they are enjoying the fantasy of my book.
Should be the lettuce on the side of the sandwich, or the tomatoes. It's not actually in the sandwich, but when they give you the plate,
She's in
it's
it.
out. She's there. She's hanging out, but
It's a
like,
pickle.
But I really wasn't
beautiful
in it. You
pickle.
were dressed as you were in the apron, right?
No, I was in the apron. I'm you.
Oh, okay.
I'm you.
I thought I was.
You're not Lisa.
So
You want
let's.
to be Lisa?
Can,
I was a
can-
cookie.
Can we get a little
Everybody.
insight into what? So you're in the apron. What do you say? Something like the cookies are done. and
Elise has a non-career. Bend me over. Oh.
Whoa!
Now give me your cookie.
Wow, that's hot.
It is hot.
Now, you did not emerge victorious today, but I don't think.
told you that when I came.
Right, you weren't expecting this. You weren't expecting a
I
victory.
knew. I knew better.
Do you see this? Do you view this as just a game, or is it more? Does this indicate that maybe, perhaps after 17 years, you don't know each other as well as you should?
I think it's just a game, and I think that, over 20 years, there's a million things you could choose. You
Right.
got to pick one.
Exactly.
It made it harder for you guys.
Yeah, it's a lot. The longer you're together, the more you can choose from. It's obvious. I mean, like when he asked what grosses her out. I mean, there's a million things. You know, the farting.
Well, that's just because it's you, Sal.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Maybe that's not a good example.
Good answer, Stephanie. Good
That would
answer.
apply to anybody.
Christine, how many times a day, because it seemed like Sal's natural reaction every time you guys got a question wrong was, oh, Christ. How many times does he utter that phrase throughout the course of a day?
Quite often, I guess. I'll have to count. Tomorrow I'll count.
So the key to marriage sometimes is having to use the Lord's name in vain.
No, the
Some
key
it
to
is,
marriage,
apparently.
it's tolerance. You know, she tolerates me, and you know, I don't tolerate. I mean, I do tolerate her. I don't tolerate. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Stop talking. Just do yourself a favor. Stop talking.
Yeah. It's all good. This is a real marriage. A real marriage. 17 years through thick and thin, up and down. That's it. We are victorious. We will always be together.
Hey, it's about Sal's marital problems. 143, I love you.
143, that's the number you type. 143, if you tell why.
That hurts so bad.
Use the secret love code. 143, when you want to drop a love. 143.
Nice.
Rational thinking. And like you said, John, you went out and auditioned for the show. She may just be feeling that she's missing something, so this is her attempt at getting something going.
Well,
but then I would tell her.
Can I say something, John? That's what irks me with this whole thing, with this whole thing she's doing, because as soon as Howard started to hammer about it, she brought us into it and like trying to make us the bad guys also. Like we're doing something wrong because he's hammering her.
Or we're providing the same amount of entertainment or whatever.
Well, she went flat out and said, hey, she's not doing anything less or more than Ronnie and JD are doing.
That's not true.
What do you do?
I host a show.
And that's what she's doing. She's hosting.
Yeah, but she's not hosting. And
there's nothing beyond her hosting.
She's not introducing, like I'm introducing Shuli. I'm introducing JD, or he's introducing me, or whatever. I'm introducing.
So you want credit for introducing JD? That's what you
show
do?
needs an MC, okay? That's what I started off doing.
There's nothing beyond the MC.
I never said I was.
What do you do, Dopey?
Dude, I was
Fuck
never
off. Get out of here.
I was never said I was a fucking comedian.
No, but
Will's making a point here.
Right.
I mean, Lisa is hosting the
He's not
event,
making a point. He's
being
being
the
an
MC.
asshole.
No, she is.
But what is she giving with it? A cupcake?
Yes.
For $103.
Well, you could talk to
Come
Lisa.
on.
It's okay, so I'll play devil's advocate. It's there's women who listen to the show who may not want to go to the block party because
Okay.
it's a little racy for them.
Right.
They're more in Lisa's sort of thinking. They'd like to hang out with Lisa and talk about what it's like to be a woman on the Howard Stern show, and they'd like to. It's a small gathering, like a cocktail party, not a drunken party like the block party is.
And it's a symposium,
Fine.
if
But
you
don't knock. Why knock us though? Because he's hammering her. Why bring us into it?
I'll tell
What do
you
we
why.
have to do with it?
This is my theory. You guys tell me if I'm off here. I think she brings it in because she feels like you and Scott and JD and other people are kind of on the same level as she is, and if you guys can do it, why can't I do it?
Because
she brought me into it too for the same reason, I think.
But the difference is, John, we are doing a show. What she is doing is not a show. It's showing up at a bakery and hanging out with fans. That's not a show. That's a Q&A. That's a town hall meeting.
But, okay, so I'll jump on that one, and I'll say there's plenty of people who go to college campuses, and that's all they do is a Q&A. They'll
That's
go
fine.
in.
That's fine, but don't pull in a comedy show and say this is the same exact thing that I'm doing. It's not. It's just not. There's a show. There's content.
Aaron and Dayton, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, good afternoon again. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to comment. I mean, during the fight week, of course, we heard that Stuttering John got his ass reamed by Howard for going out, using the show for personal gain. And at this point in the game, everybody on the show, I mean, with the exception of you, John, I mean, you was, somewhat famous beforehand, but everybody at this point, using the show for personal gain and monetary value. But, and of course, at this, what I'm getting at is, I'm sure she's not making a whole lot of bread, and she's putting at a point where she's, giving a little bit to charity. She's also, paying for a venue. She's probably paying for the wine and all that shit, and she's also like Gary said, part of the show. So
all right, so Aaron's sort of defending Lisa here.
We
and saying
pay.
she's
We
doing
pay.
nothing.
We pay for a venue.
Yeah, I mean, she's good. That's a weird thing to say because whatever she's paying for or not paying for, she will walk away with a profit of some sort.
Dude, when we do the block party shows, we pay for a venue.
Of course.
So, I mean...
Here's a question John and I were kicking around today. If Lisa said, I'm going to be at the coffee shop, for $100 you can come and you get a cupcake and everything, and I'm going to play the violin for an hour.
Okay.
Would that change your perception of what she's doing?
That's a concert. That's a concert.
Absolutely. At least she's doing something other than having 30 people show up and then just sit around and schmooze with them.
Anthony, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, what's going on? I'm a big Shuli fan. I mean, I'm a stand-up comedian. I've moved out here to PA from California, and just the transition there. But she's promoting the show because she is bringing. She's using the Stern Show as saying, I'm bringing the female listeners and trying to make money off that, because the block party is just completely different from what she's trying to do. She doesn't have an act. So she's using the show to get the female listeners out there to make money. I mean, she's got to rent a car.
But why is that wrong? I'm just going to play devil's advocate. Why, if you could say that Shuli and Ronnie are using the show to get male listeners to come out and see male-based humor, even though there's a lot of women there as well. So if Lisa feels she's going to talk to female listeners, why is that wrong?
But why does she have to make money of it? If she started to support the show and won a gig, she should be able to be like, hey, I'm Lisa G. Come, get listeners to be more attracted to her, not because I need to make some money.
Why should the guys from the block party make money? Shouldn't they just be? Shuli's a comedian. Shouldn't he be out there for the joy of making people laugh?
Also, would it matter to you?
I pay money to go see the block party. I pay money to go see the block party. I was up in Canada and I saw the block party. It was fucking awesome. It was fun.
But Anthony, people don't have to spend money to go to Lisa's event. They just won't go.
Right. The reason I wanted to pick up his call is because he said Lisa's scamming people, and I think that's a poor choice of words because I think Lisa's being very upfront about what she's doing. I don't think there's any scam involved.
Well, you know what? We should get Jason down here because he said that he feels like she's scamming people big time.
But she's being very upfront about. I mean, I don't think anybody who pays can't walk away surprised with what they're getting.
What were you going to say, Benji?
Well, would it matter? As I said before, I don't think there's anything wrong, and I think Lisa could say she's putting on an event in a different kind of way, but she's still putting on an event. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, except I felt she was being very hypocritical towards when she was criticizing me. But would you guys say it's any different if, let's say, this cupcake place hired her for an appearance and they paid her?
I think that's different because you're not taking money from the listeners.
Right.
That's a huge difference right there. In other words, the cupcake place paid her. She goes there. Listeners can come for free and meet Lisa. And I think you sort of get the same result, but you're not taking money from the listeners.
And I don't think the event itself rubbed people the wrong way. I think the price she came up with, I think, might have rubbed a few people the wrong way.
And the word I keep hearing, too, from some people is that there seems to be a sense of entitlement. But I'm not sure for what. Like, Lisa's entitled to make money off the show, or I'm not sure what people think Lisa's entitled to do. But Jason's here. Jason, we were just talking about how there was a caller on the line who said he felt that Lisa was scamming people. And I said, well, she's definitely not. That's a poor choice of words. She's being very upfront about what she's doing. But you say she's scamming. So,
well, I would use scamming means like, yeah, she's lying to somebody. I think she's exploiting. I think she's ripping off. I think that we have a fan base that will pay money to be part of the show, like going to see Shuli and Ronnie's thing. Now you can say, first of all, I don't even like the fact that their show has been lumped in with this Lisa G thing. They are so two totally separate things. I think it's unfair to them to even lump it in. Lisa made a name for herself from this show in the last 10 years, 5 years on this show.
7 years.
7 years.
But Lisa will tell you that she was been in New York radio for 23 years before this.
Yes, but she is not going on other radio shows to promote this. She's promoting Lisa G, as far as I know, from the Howard Stern show, to go and sit and pay money and see her. To me, that is using the goodwill that Howard has built up with the fan base and is exploiting that. And Howard, who is our boss, can put his name on anything and sell it and make money on it. Stephen King could put his name on any piece of crap book and sell it and make money off it. But they have integrity, and they care more about their fans than Lisa does.
So why is this getting under your skin so much, Jace? Because you were like fuming back
Because
there.
I know this is going to sound corny, but I love our fans. Like, I really do. I was one of them, and I know how easy it is if you wanted to. Will and I don't know if we have the same draw as Lisa, but Will and I can go out and do this too. We could say, hey, come spend $100 and hang out with me and Will. We're not doing anything. We're just hanging out. I personally think it's disgusting to do something like that.
You and Will?
I don't want to speak for you, Will.
Actually, I'll be at Belmont on Saturday. If you want to buy me 3 beers, I'm more than open to that.
I think I think she hasn't earned the right to do what she's doing. I think that she's doing something that, despite people comparing it to the block party and other events, that isn't even in the same league as those things. And quite frankly, I'm surprised by a lot of what Howard's let go over the years compared to where he was 10, 15 years ago.
Chuck, you're on the wrap-up show.
How's it going, John?
Hey, Chuck, it's JD's dad. Chuck, who wants to chime in? Is this about the Facebook thing, or is this about the Lisa G thing?
He wants the exact address to Facebook.
I won't stay on too long. First, I enjoyed your show on the fast food mania thing the other day. That was great.
Thank you. I appreciate someone in the Harmeyer family watching the show. Thank you.
I haven't been able to listen too much of the show, but I wanted to let everybody know that this Friday night I'm going to be at the Fridays in Westchester, and for $50 you can get whatever appetizer you want, and we'll tweet.
Hey, Chuck, if I come to you, can I look at like JD's like grammar school pictures and stuff? Can you bring all that crap?
Sure.
Some of his report cards.
It's going to be the eat and tweet. And
Chuck, I'm taking from your comments that you think what Lisa's doing isn't right.
I think it's hilarious. That anybody would actually pay, but if
Guys, the event's going to be
make some money out of it, more power to her.
But so how about the argument that, hey, Lisa's really upfront with what she's doing? She's saying exactly what it is. I mean, why do you think somebody's being taken advantage of in the sense that they don't? Somebody says, hey, I want to meet Lisa G. I'm willing to pay that kind of money.
You're taking advantages of people's passion to this show that she had, of course, a part of in it because she works here and contributes to the show. But this isn't this is.
But you're not
going
to meet. You're not going to meet Howard. That's a given.
But someone could think that there's one person closer to Howard, and
it doesn't
somehow
matter.
They'll work themselves in.
You've been with the show since the very beginning. Again, I just remember, and I'm a crazy fan. I admit it. I was a crazy fan, just like half the people who have been hired here. And I would have paid untold amount of money to meet you. Or to meet, Sal, or I would have waited in line, or got excited to meet High Pitch Eric. And yes, at the end of the day, there's really no one to blame but the person partying with their money who chooses to go to this thing. But she is putting the minimal amount of effort into it. Like even what you were describing, the Chuck stat, if he brought pictures of JD, that's already providing more content than Lisa G is providing.
And the report card's an extra.
Steve and I were joking the other day,
Always.
maybe we should sell tickets to us arguing about TV shows. We argue about TV shows all the time. Again, that's still providing more content than what Lisa G appears to be providing at this stupid thing where she is telling our fans, asking our fans to pay money to meet me. She's being very upfront. 10% of the net is going to charity, and that's very generous of her. But I think it's exploitative. I think it's as exploitative as if Howard started putting out junk with his name on it.
Chuck, I gotta let you go because a bunch of people on the horn. Anything else you want to say?
Give me the horn. Give me the horn.
I enjoy the show. Have a good day.
Thanks, Chuck. Go check out the Pirates take on the Reds. Ralph Sorella, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, now.
Hi, Ralphie.
This is all very muddy. I mean, if you allow for one, you have to allow for all. I mean, whether it's money for a cupcake or money to see a train wreck, it's what people want to pay. And I don't see why Lisa is being, who's Jason to decide what her appearing somewhere is worth to somebody.
Well Ralph, the reason why this whole thing started is because Howard says it bothers him and he doesn't know why. So you're pretty close to Howard. Why do you think it bothers him?
Well, listen, I know what Jason's saying in the sense of like, hey, she's not doing much. She's just coming there and showing up. But you know what? That's what an evening with Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby just shows up. Maybe people want to go there for Lisa's personality. Maybe she's going to give recipes. I don't know what the fuck she's going to do there, but I don't know how that's any different than the block party.
But you don't know how that's different than the block party.
Hold on.
No, I don't.
We'll explain that in a second. But all that being said, Ralph, Gary's question is a good one. Like, why does this get under Howard's skin versus the block party, versus the TV shows, versus Benji's song,
Bill
versus
Cosby,
all the other stuff? Why do you think this is irking Howard?
Because this isn't, but maybe because the block party is such a train wreck that it provides content on the show. Ronnie goes out there and acts like an idiot, and then you've got tape of it, and Howard TV is filming it, and it provides content for the Howard Stern show. But I think it just sends signals to you can't allow one and not allow the other. Like, who are you guys to sit there and decide? Like, okay,
well, first of all, we don't. Howard does.
Yeah, but Ralph, wouldn't you agree that? And I was going to get into this a little bit, but you brought it up. Wouldn't you say on this show there's different rules for different people?
Absolutely, yeah.
So then when you say you have to allow for one, you have to allow for another, really, Howard's running a monarchy. He has to allow for whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, Artie used to get away with crap that none of us could get away with.
That's right.
And because he was Artie.
Yeah, and that worked out really well.
Well, I'm just saying that's what happens under that. Anybody could do whatever anybody wants rules.
What Artie was allowed to get away with business-wise had nothing to do with what happened here.
No, he got away with a ton of stuff here that we got. If I slept in the office as much as he slept on the air, I don't think I would have been treated with the same kid gloves.
Absolutely, because you're not as funny as Artie.
No, I'm not. Right. The people are treated differently here.
Yeah. And that just doesn't work well. It just sends out a bad message to everybody.
But again, I fundamentally disagree with you. I think Ronnie's block party does skirt the line of what Howard used to be angry about in the day when John and Gary tried to go out to do stuff and Howard didn't want it to become the traveling Howard Stern show. And I do think it comes up against that line. But at the end of the day, they're promoting their comedy show. People are buying tickets to their comedy show. I don't know. To me, it's completely different than having a lovely chat with coffee.
I will agree that it's different. I don't know if it's completely different. I mean, I think what bothers you is Lisa's looking for a way to make money.
Ralph, would you buy a ticket to just see JD and Ronnie, but no comedy?
I wouldn't even do that.
Me, Gary. Last question: is Howard going to put an end to all this stuff?
It's getting to be rubbing up against that area. Hard to say.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, there was a lot of talk about Sal, shockingly, screwing up a game again. And this is one of those situations where Sal doesn't think he's wrong, is told that he's wrong, and then realizes that he's wrong and tries to explain himself, which he can't do. So we heard Sal tell the story about how it was unfair of Howard to call him a sucker.
Now joining us on the wrap-up show, the great Sal Governale, who said, Howard, you're a sucker at least 20 times today. Actually, Sal, you refused to say it.
That's right.
Those were the drops being played, but...
Why won't you repeat?
Why wouldn't I say it?
Yeah, repeat after Howard.
Because I wouldn't. It wasn't true. If I did something where he felt like a sucker, I would have said it.
Sal, do you feel like the show was used at all in order for you to get those teeth? Or do you think they're two independent things?
Yes, absolutely. I made that perfectly clear on your wrap-up show last time. I said it's inevitable. There's certainly a bartership deal. People are not stupid. The guy was a fan of the show, and I certainly got a break because he was a fan, which is understandable.
But we discussed it wasn't a break.
Right. Then the break comes back and bites you on the ass. Nothing is ever really a break. There's a price to be paid, whether it's monetarily or getting the shit kicked out of you by Howard Stern. There's a price to pay, and I've learned it the hard way.
Sal and I talked a little bit today. I was explaining that some of the money was for the actual physical things needed to do this, and the rest of the money was free.
Yeah.
So Sal didn't really get a break. He really got the dental work for free.
Right.
And I explained to him that, as Sal said, nobody gives something for free for nothing. They're always looking for something.
Let me take a step back on this. Sal, do you feel you were unfairly blamed for the problems with the Bigfoot game? Because that's how this all started.
At first, I thought I was. But listen, I'm the one who created the game. The glitch was there. Guilty as charged.
But you said you double-checked it. What did you mean by that?
I double-check all my work. In this particular case, and I don't know why. I don't know why I do these things, but I always give my...
That seems to be the mantra this week. I heard Tim saying that earlier in the week.
It's almost like, how people have a guardian angel? I have like a guardian bully. When I'm going...
A black cloud?
Yeah, when I'm going in the right direction, somebody's kicking me in the balls, just throwing my mind off a little bit, because I always give my CDs to Scott to double-check. And like when Howard asked me, did Scott double-check this one? I said, no. And that's when it hit me. I'm like, he didn't double-check this one. I did, but... inevitably, it was a screw-up on my part.
It's always better to give your stuff to Scott, because then when it screws up, you could blame Scott.
Right.
What happened was there was a glitch. You saw it. Then you went back and saw that there was a track there. But what we figured out is that Bigfoot's answer was so short, right?
Oh, it didn't register as a track.
It was a track, but it just goes from one track to the next so quickly, which Richard knew, and he said Sal just sort of forgot. You got to add a little time.
And by the way,
yes,
to say something nice about Scott Salem, that's the kind of crap he really catches.
Right.
Like I gave him all the impression stuff, and he called me and he's like, "Wow, the levels on this are really off on one of them," and we listened to it. And I'm like, "Good call," and he fixed it, and that's his job.
that was my mistake. So I took back that game and double checked that one. And I had Scott check it. As a matter of fact, I went to Gary today and I said, Gary, give me all the games back. So I'm going through every single game right now as well.
There was a great moment, though, where the game fucked up, so I just start yelling, Sal, to just see where he is. Sal was on his way in, but Howard did play the answer, but Sal didn't realize there was a fuck-up. So Sal starts yelling at me, you owe me a fucking apology, asshole. Fuck you.
Wait, can I just say, could I have my headphones on? You guys went from 0 to 1,000 the second Howard said that this isn't working.
There's a reason why.
Before, you guys were yelling so loud at each other that you couldn't hear Howard screaming about who do I have to blame, and I didn't know what was going. You came out with
it was definitely like a sibling moment.
What happened was I just yelled Sal as loud as I could to see where he was.
I was coming around the bend. I was by the Howard TV room. I saw what happened. I'm like, whoa! Came around the bend, and Gary goes, Sal, where the fuck are you? What's going on? I go, Gary, and then I heard, as I was coming, I heard Howard fix, and I heard the track come through. I'm like, all right, it was a Howard issue, with the CD player. I go, Howard just fixed it, Gary. How about an apology? So Gary looks at me and goes, fuck you.
Yeah, that's why I started hearing everything.
So then Gary sits in his office. I go, how about an apology for that? And Gary goes, go fix your teeth, asshole. I go fix your fucking teeth. And all of a sudden, wait a Sal, Howard wants you. It is fucked up. I'm like, oh, God, no.
All I hear over my head.
So this whole argument was going on over attitudes, and in the end, I was called into the studio thinking I was victorious, and boom.
But what you didn't realize when you were in the studio,
you still didn't realize you were wrong.
You didn't realize you were wrong, and Gary is screaming.
Yeah.
He's deflecting. He's deflecting. And I mean, you were charged up, Gary.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, he was trying to make it go somewhere else, but you didn't realize you were wrong. So you were, no, Howard, I don't know what you're wrong.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting there going, oh, my God, Sal's really digging the hole deeper because he doesn't know he's wrong yet.
Yeah.
How did you not know you were wrong, though? Like in what?
Well, I was arguing with Gary. I got called in, and I thought Howard called. I thought somebody sent up a note that Gary and Sal are fighting over the track. So in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to go in, and then Gary's going to get called in, and Gary apologized to Sal. Here I am thinking it's going to be that way.
And by the way, I just want to say, the desperation move if I'm beating you is you bring up the sleeping.
I know, dude. That was 4 years. I mean, how old is that?
Hey, listen, where am I going to go?
I get it. Yeah. I get it. You're drowning and you grab at anything.
Anything.
But what really, I think, really changed it was, one, I think Howard saw your point a little bit, and I think you were starting to cry.
No, I wasn't.
That's why I ran in.
I got worked up, but I certainly wasn't starting to cry.
I wasn't going to run in with the camera until I looked at the monitor and saw how worked up you were, and I'm like, I better get the fuck in
What
there.
was bringing you to tears? The fact that Howard thought you were lying, or
were you emotional in any way?
Sal, you were over the top at a certain.
It was the whole sucker thing, and he said you outsmarted me. I would never. That's just
impossible.
Well, no, it's not. It's impossible to outsmart Howard Stern, in my opinion. Yes, in any capacity.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So. And he kept going with that and the whole Howard Sucker thing, and I'm like, this is just crazy, and that's why I just snapped.
And he threatened to break up you and Richard. And I know to you that's blasphemy, but it seemed like it might be going there.
If it goes there, it goes there, and you know what? You'll see the results. Rich and I are a think tank. We work every day. We bounce ideas off of each other. We work great together. It's like breaking up Captain and Tennille.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, actually, they got divorced, and she had a much better career.
Sal, if this happens,
it's like breaking up Donnie Marie.
Keep your mouth shut, because the way Howard described it on the air, you will be getting your own office, and Richard will be sharing an office with
I would
Scott.
hate that. I would hate.
You would rather share with Scott?
I would be in a bathroom with Richard. I would be in a dumpster with Richard.
What? But if you and Richard together isn't an option, wouldn't you rather be alone than be paired up with Scott the engineer?
I don't know. My brain can't even go there. That's like saying you're separating a child from me. I'm not kidding you.
Are you ready
You're
for
a grown man?
Are you ready for a world, say in 3.5 years, where the show ends and everybody has to go out and do their own thing? Are you and Richard going out as a team, or are you going to go out and do your own thing?
It all depends. If we want it, right now we're planning as a team, but we also can do our own thing as well.
Let me tell you something from experience. If you're a team, one of you end up stabbing each other in the back. It's just what happens when two guys at work team up on something
and live together.
I don't know about that.
another old friend of the show. You going to have a stupid comment about that?
No, I have no stupid comment.
All right, I'm just asking.
Only intelligent ones.
Oh, okay. You have an intelligent comment about that?
A rock and roll legend.
Okay. And an old friend of the show.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to bring him in.
Well, what's his name?
Joe Walsh.
You're rusty, man.
You're old.
I'm old. Says the guy in the tinted glasses. Mr. Joe Walsh, welcome back, sir.
Thank you. How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
Got a new album out?
Got a new album out.
Analog Man.
One of the rare times I didn't stay up all night to come into the show.
So you're feeling
actually
fresh.
Slept. That should impress Howard.
Right here, sir.
Okay. There we go.
So you're feeling fresh. You're raring to go, too.
I'm fresh and I'm ready to go. I hope he is.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I bet he's really nervous right now.
You guys are old friends. You guys have been...
We're old friends from golly. I don't want to figure out how old.
But the new album's called Analog Man?
Analog Man. First album in 20 years.
All right. We'll see you in the studio.
Okay. Good to be here.
He looks good. Like his skin is good. But I'm saying for a guy who's been through what he's been through.
Right. It's pretty amazing.
He looks great.
It's almost unfair.
He looks
like,
really...
I would have done all that, too.
That's right. He looks really healthy.
Yeah, like he works out, I think.
But I mean, he had a long time of, fucking up his body.
Analog Man is his first solo album in 20 years. He says his wife is the one that got him back in the studio. It's Ringo Starr's sister-in-law, by the way, his wife of 3 years now.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. He sounds very happy, he's healthy, he's sober, he loves his new wife, everything's great.
Do you almost think musically, like Joe's in his own sort of genre, like, I was thinking about this, that just to discuss it a little bit, like, he's not like a Led Zeppelin guy, he's not like...
He's not huge, he's not like a super, but he's been in a super group, but he's been big on his own.
But he's overlooked, kind of.
Oh yeah, like when you talk about the top 10 greatest guitarists of all times, why Joe's name is, it's always like Buddy Guy. Yeah. It's a lot of old black guys.
I think a lot of people took him out of the running because he was such a goof.
That's right. No, he did act goofy for a long time.
Sorry, go ahead.
He talks about how he talks to Ringo Starr for advice. He's very unaffected by his fame. Stevie Nicks, clearly sounds like she's still in love with him. She says that they broke up because they both had heavy cocaine addictions. But basically says he was the love of her life, and he's the only man she'll ever really love.
Something like that. It was pretty quiet. I mean, I heard it. But
I knew about the Don Henley thing, but I never knew about her and Joe.
Joe, come on in. Joe Walsh from the legendary Eagles, of course. Look at you.
Gary's salivating over here.
You look good, my man. Take a seat. Hi, how are you?
He looks real good.
Good to see you. Yeah, he does look good. You look good. Are you amazed? Like, you're so healthy now. You look terrific. You look like a different man from the guy I knew back when.
I am.
You are a completely different man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's strange even being in the room with you now because it's a whole different energy. I never
That's because I didn't stay up all night.
Well, I never knew the Joe I was going to get.
Yeah.
Do you ever go back and look at your old appearances, whether it's on this show or wherever you were, where you were really completely fucked up and on, you were drinking? I don't even know back then. Were you just drinking or were you coking and heroing and
whatever you had?
Really? It was
what I did.
Right.
Till you were out, and then I left.
Did you ever figure out, to be serious, did you ever figure out what it was that kind of made you crazy enough to want to destroy your body and destroy your mind? There had to be something really behind that, right?
Well, being an alcoholic.
No, but I'm saying there's a reason one becomes an alcoholic, don't you think? Or do you think it's just a disease that randomly hits somebody? I always think there's some psychological basis that your father was even, maybe it goes back to your parents.
It is probably hereditary, yeah. But I tell you what happened for me.
Right.
I wrote some songs that were pretty good.
Right.
When I was high. James Gang Rides Again came out. Did really good.
Right.
Made that when I was high. So I made a mistake of thinking it was a winning formula.
Right.
I played some concerts in front of people when I was high, and they
loved you.
Well, they were high too. But,
Right.
You know, yeah. But then later, you know, when I didn't do an album, when I did an album that didn't do so good, I thought, well, I'm not nearly high enough.
Right.
Oh.
And I chased it. Robin.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
But was it the kind of thing where you see, you strike me as a happy-go-lucky kind of guy, but the truth is you're not, because all of that stuff what you're describing is a guy who really wants to be successful. That success was so important to you that you said, oh, I know the winning formula. I'll drink, I'll get high, and then I'll write great music. So it really did matter to you whether you were successful or not. You weren't sort of a happy-go-lucky guy. Maybe it was a reaction to, oh, my God, maybe this will be the secret to my success. You were really hungry for success.
Very subtly.
Yeah.
All of that stuff convinces you that you can't do anything without it.
Right.
And it's got you.
You think that's it?
Yeah.
It's that simple?
Yeah.
You don't think it was your relationship with your parents? I mean, I don't know what it was like for you living at home.
I don't know. You know, every case is different. If you grew up in an alcoholic family, chances are you're going to be alcoholic.
Your mom and dad were alcoholics?
There's always that at different times, yeah.
Right. So when you see drinking as part of the family life, it doesn't seem like such a bad thing to be doing.
When I grew up, it was the 50s, and we would have these family picnics, and everybody drank.
Including you.
My aunts drank, my uncles drank, my cousins drank. If you were an adult, adults drank.
Right.
That was just the norm when I was a kid. And it occurred to me that my whole family probably has been rip-roaring drunk for the last 500 years.
Right.
That was just the norm.
How hard was it for you to get sober?
Hardest thing I ever did.
Yeah, and now you're happy, right? I hear reports on you, because I care about you, and when I hear you're so happy now, I really do get happy for you, because, you know, think about all your contemporaries. A lot of guys died who were even less fucked up than you.
A lot of guys we know aren't around anymore.
Yeah. Who you thinking about that didn't make it? I'm thinking
Bellucci.
Kennison. Right. And
Keith Moon.
And it's kind of sad, too, because if you get that second chance, if you live long enough and you kind of get sober, you go, oh, wow, you think about those guys. They were cut down in their prime.
Yeah.
And do you think music... See, I happen to think you're one of the greatest guitar players, and I'm not saying it because you're here, but I do. I think the riffs and the songs you came up with were brilliant, especially James Gang stuff, and then when you went to the Eagles, I felt you really improved that band like tenfold. But yet, do you think... when it comes to, I don't know, the rock and roll intelligentsia, or whoever they are, but do you think, well, critics, do you think, yeah, do you think you get criticized or you're not thought of right up there in the upper echelon because your past behavior, because you were so drunk and so outrageous? Do you think that your legend got kind of knocked down to a degree? Were you taken less seriously?
I'm not really concerned with that.
But you are. Because you're the guy who sat there and drank because you destroyed your own body because you thought that was the formula for success. So you do care about your place in history, right? Musically.
Yeah, but I'm not done yet.
No, I know you're not. But I'm saying, I don't, when I see the list in Rolling Stone of the top 10 guitarists in the world.
Joe's not on it?
Yeah, and I don't quite know why. You really are. Do you still practice your guitar every day?
Yeah.
It's that important to you?
I try and play every day, yeah.
Is it true you take guitar lessons to this day? That you still take guitar lessons?
I'll sit down with somebody, yeah. I'll sit down with somebody and ask them how in the world do you play that, like Brad Paisley.
Right.
I'll sit down with him and say, hey, man.
Why is that? Because you can't figure out how he did that?
Well, probably, but it saved me 5 or 6 hours if I just ask him.
But does anyone ever come to you and say, hey, Joe, teach me how to play? Teach me how to do that?
Not really, but
does that bother you? Bothers me. You're the guy who should be giving guitar lessons, not getting guitar lessons.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Who does he think is the greatest?
Who are your heroes musically? I've never asked you that. You were always too drunk. Couldn't get a straight answer out of you. Do you have musical
No,
heroes?
I had heroes then. They were just different ones.
Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Seriously, who are your heroes?
Well, the guy that's the grandfather of us all is Les Paul.
Right. The guy who really invented the guitar, the electric guitar, right?
The pickup and echo and multi-track recording.
Did you get to know him?
I knew Les, yeah.
Yeah. Were you happy with the inventions and what he did to the guitar? Because you're a guy who in your new album you talk about analog man. You can't stand all the new technology. It's kind of like I'm just a regular guy. I don't know from all this technology.
Well, I'm not against it. I'm not an old analog fart who came out of the woods.
Right.
I don't think analog's better. It's just, you got to admit.
But you're upset with technology. You don't like now in the Eagles that your fellow Eagle members sit in a studio and they use all these Pro Tools and everything else. It actually slows down the music making process.
It changes it.
It makes it more complicated.
Easier. Here's two things it does, okay?
Okay.
One is you can fix anything.
Which is
bad.
Bad, I think.
Temptation to fix everything.
You lose the soul of the music, don't you?
If we'd had Pro Tools when we were doing Hotel California, we'd still be working on Hotel California.
Because what you're saying is Hotel California has imperfections, so to speak. And those imperfections are kind of the cool things about it.
The charm.
Human.
And so when you get in the studio now with the Eagles, they sit and go, wait a second, that note's just a little bit out of tune or it's a little bit off. Let's fix it.
We've always been like that to some degree.
Right.
But the great temptation with Pro Tools is to go ahead and fix everything when you don't need to.
Do you have enough of a voice in that band? I know you've got to sort of watch your P's and Q's with some of the band members, but do you have enough of a voice in that band to say, guys, stop. We're in a studio. What made us great, why Hotel California works, is because there are mistakes on it. It's not a perfect piece of music. Nothing is.
Well,
but it's real.
I wouldn't single out the Eagles.
You say they all do it.
Everybody does it.
But you are in the Eagles.
It's a hazard of Pro Tools. It's a hazard of digital technology. There's one other thing I want to say.
Yeah.
The temptation with digital technology is to start with a drum machine.
Right.
That's virtual.
Yes.
And put that down. And then build up the track with virtual instruments, which are all in the computer, and build up the thing like a kit.
And it never sounds quite as good.
No. In the old days, you got some guys in a room, you mic'd them, and you pushed record, and you got the performance.
Right, and isn't there something that comes out of that performance when a guy's sitting there, a drummer live, and all of a sudden he goes, wait a second, I have an idea. What if I hit it this way? Or you go, wait, I got a better riff. Or that's the magic of being in a studio with a bunch of guys.
That's rock and roll from 1954 to 1962.
But when you recorded the last Eagles album, and by the way, the album did well. I mean, there was an experiment, too. You sold it through Walmart, and it sold really, really well. And this is a tough day and age to sell music.
Yeah.
So the experience for you was not the same. Were you all in the studio at the same time, or was it all done with building it up one at a time?
There's a temptation.
Right.
To do it that way.
Do you put up a protest in the band, or you just go along with the flow?
I go along with the flow. We do it various ways depending on what we're trying to accomplish.
Is it liberating now that you have a solo record out because you don't have to deal with the, I'm not going to call it nonsense, but the politics of the Eagles? Is it a liberating experience for you to go in and do it your way?
It's, what do I say? Yeah, but I mean, for all of us, I mean, Don's down in Nashville,
doing his own thing,
recording. Glenn made an album,
but for you, you get to do it your way now.
I get to do it my way. Yeah.
Is there a part of you that goes, "I'll show these fucking guys how an album should be made"?
Nah,
never.
Nah.
There's no anger there, no bitterness.
Nah.
Have you given up all your friends from the old days? In other words, you used to come in with a boatload of characters that were hanging around. I'm talking about the days when you got
my entourage.
You had an entourage of guys who could drink you under the table. You know, there was the bass player, Rick the bass player. Are you done with those guys? Are they bad influences, so to speak, on you or triggers for you?
Well, Rick's exempt.
Right.
He plays with Neil Young now.
Yes.
He's cleaned up. He's doing great.
That's good.
for him.
Yeah. You have to change all your friends.
I know.
You have to.
Yeah, or else you get sucked into the vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were another one. We felt like we were the friends that got, and we never did all that stuff with you.
Yeah,
But
we were good
for a
influence.
while, you didn't come see us.
Yeah, were we part of the problem?
Someone stole my identity, Robin.
Yeah. You know, when I was thinking about you, there was a great... I know you're happily married now. You've been married, what, 3 years?
3 years.
Oddly enough, to Ringo Starr's sister-in-law?
No.
Wait,
Yeah,
your wife, your wife is...
Are you sure? Do you know who you're married to?
What is he, Ringo?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, who are you married to?
My wife is the little sister of Ringo's wife.
Barbara
Ringo,
Bach?
right.
Yes.
And you are now happily married.
It's the part of me that was missing.
Because I remember you in the old days. You know, listen, you were high, and women were commodities. You used a lot of women, and they used you. I mean, it was a mutual use. They used you for your fame and your money and your power.
Well,
and
sometimes I think Joe forgot when he was on the road that he had another woman somewhere.
Right. But did you have a whole epiphany about women? Like that changed your attitude toward women too?
Well, the first thing that you can't do when you try to get sober is have a relationship.
Right. They say that's the worst thing.
Yeah. So I did that for a while.
You did.
You did all the wrong stuff.
You sabotaged your recovery by being in a relationship with a woman during it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that didn't work good.
So they're right about that.
Yeah.
These people know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It didn't work good because she becomes your drug, right?
Or a reason to drink.
In other words, you'd start fighting with a woman, the relationship gets too heated up, you haven't worked on yourself enough, and then boom, everything goes kablooey and you need a drink.
Women are a great reason to drink. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Probably just any relationship with anybody is a reason to drink.
Like Joe's so charming, nothing could be a problem about
Well, you know what? I think like Joe, I have problems with everybody, so I think anyone would make me drink.
There you go.
Man or woman.
There you go.
So,
congratulations on your marriage, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I'm glad we're both happy.
Yeah, no, very, very happy.
Yeah.
I really am. I
Yeah.
mean, I understand what you say.
To get a real partner.
Yes.
You know?
And to feel good about that situation is remarkable.
And it's the part of me that was missing.
But don't you think it's the change in you that allows you to have that with a woman?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to grow up.
I couldn't have had any relationship like I was.
Did you go back and say to any of the women you were with, and I'm sure you hurt some women and some women hurt you, but did you go back? Even remember, you used to have the great joke, my ex-wife plaintiff.
Yeah, did you call plaintiff?
Did you ever call plaintiff and say,
which one?
Any of them.
I made amends to a lot of people.
You did?
Yeah.
Was that hard?
No.
Once you do it, does it unlock something in you? Like, does it open up your heart?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
And so you would call, did you call your ex-wives?
Mm-hmm.
And you said to them, look, I'm sorry I put you through hell. I'm sorry I did
I put you through hell.
Were they all receptive to that, or did some of them say, you know what, Joe, fuck yourself?
There was both. Both of those. Some people say, I understand. I'm glad you're sober. Some people say, up yours.
And some people say, I don't believe you. In other words,
the important thing is me.
You said it.
I'm better for it.
Right. And what is it? If it's a phone call or a meeting, and you go there and you confess to them that you were shit or whatever, you were confused.
Yeah, you look them in the eye and you tell them, hey, I was really a bad person to you, and I regret it, and I'm sorry.
Wow. Boy,
that's heavy.
That's hard.
It's heavy, but I mean, that's part of recovery. Because you live in all that garbage. You constantly, even now, everybody, goes into the past and digs around in a pile of stuff.
Right.
And you look for something to be mad about.
Right.
You look for something to get in a bad mood about. And you attach an emotion to it. And then you're in a bad mood. And none of that exists.
All that anger is in you.
Yeah. If you clear that out by making amends, you stand a chance.
Right. Well, it's a tough... I tell you what, that is not an easy assignment.
Has he decided to have more children?
No, you're not having more kids, are you?
No, I have lots.
Yeah.
How many kids?
I saw one of your daughters on a TV show. Lucy. She's a very talented girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wants to make it in the music business.
She's also acting. She's pretty serious about acting.
Good-looking girl, too.
Yeah, she's nice.
Yeah. And then I saw they got you on the show, too. They schlepped you out. I was like, oh, poor Joe.
Well, I showed up for her.
Yeah, right, I know. I knew you didn't want to be there, man. I was just watching it. I go, oh, my God.
Me and Dee Snider.
Yeah, you guys are all on there.
We showed up for our kids.
But I know what that show was.
Yeah. I enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
But it was the kids of rock stars who show up, and they had a competition.
Yeah.
So, but you see these competition shows. That's not the way to really make it. I'm a judge on one of these shows.
I know you. How's that going?
I love it. But I tell everyone. In fact, I don't
know. You are.
Well, you don't want to know something? In Vegas, I tell these guys. I don't know if they're going to show it. They don't show everything I say. But I said to them, you got to remember, a lot of hard work goes into it. When I saw them fucking off or doing something weird, I'd say, I know musicians. And these guys work their ass off. They might look happy-go-lucky, but how many hours did you spend in your life not only sitting alone in a room with the guitar, but also going out on the road and playing in front of people and learning that, even if you're playing in front of two people, life can really suck and it's not that easy. I mean, there's a lot of hard years. There's no quick fix, right?
It's your 10,000 hours.
Your 10,000 hours. And you put them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have too.
Yeah, I mean, we all do.
You used to sell mattresses.
I did. I still do. I was shocked to learn, though, in your life, one of the great romances was Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac, and this was kept on the down low even during your whacked out years.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
But she says you were the love of her life and probably still are. What, is she one of those people you had to call and make amends to?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She's special.
She was in love. One of the greatest songwriters ever, right? Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
No?
Well,
am I wrong?
I mean, songwriters, in the big picture, all of us from the 70s are memorable and notable, but I mean, the greatest songwriters are like guys from the 30s and 40s. And
do you really believe that? You don't believe Jimi Hendrix was a great songwriter? Paul Simon?
Yeah. Okay.
You don't consider yourself a great songwriter?
Well, I don't think it's fair to say one of the best ever to anybody.
But what a powerful couple, Stevie Nicks and Joe Walsh.
Stevie's very high on the list.
Were you in love with her?
Did they write together?
I don't know. Did you guys ever write together?
She helped me do the Confessor album.
No kidding.
She rode shotgun with me on that one and gave me some direction. And she's really good at the craft of songwriting.
Which means what? Sitting down and really putting a pen to paper and actually trying to figure out the lick and all that?
Left to my own devices, I will have 85 pieces of paper with a couple words on each.
Right.
And people like her and my wife Marjorie now help me get 85 words on one piece of paper.
How do they help you do that? I mean, you're a songwriter. It's a creative process for you. How do they focus you to take all those 85 slips of paper and combine them into a song?
Well, my wife is a closer. That's what she does. When I say it's the part of me that was missing,
I
got a little attention deficit.
Right.
But in the 50s, that wasn't diagnosed. You were just difficult.
Right.
But I got it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I see that in one of my sons. I learned about it, and I had it screaming in the 50s.
It's one of those things that affects you where you can't keep your mind on one thing.
You can't complete tasks. I have a great idea, fantastic idea, and I get it started. And wait a minute, I have another idea. So there it sits.
You know, I'm reading a book about this. It's called Get Things Done.
Yeah.
Do you ever read this book?
No.
I've just started reading it. I just learned about it.
Yeah, so I have great ideas lying all over the place.
And what do you do? Do you speak into a little tape recorder? And how does the songwriting process go for Joe Walsh personally? Would you be fucking around with your guitar? You start to, pick at a few notes and go, that's cool? Or do you hear the song in your head first? You once told me years ago you always have a song in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how do you get it out physically? Because don't you go, oh, my God, this is good. I don't want to lose this. What do you do? What's the first thing you do? So you don't forget it.
Well, you can carry around a little recorder.
Do you do that?
And put ideas down. When I remember to, yeah.
Because you need a giant inbox, so to speak. And then, but by that I mean you need a place that whenever you get an idea, you just put it in there so you don't have to sit and worry. Didn't that worry you when you had a great hook or something and you'd say, oh, shit, I can't forget it, I can't, or you didn't care?
It depends. When I was wasted, I would write it down, except in the morning, it didn't make any sense.
Okay, a song like Life's Been Good So Far. Life's Been Good So Far. You're standing around one day. Do you hear the words first or the music?
Usually the music.
The music?
Yeah.
You heard...
It's real abstract, and I think it's the same for all of us. You hear an idea, and it's kind of a symmetry.
So
that
did you
hear?
So when you say you heard an idea, symmetry, was it like? Yeah,
as a matter of fact, yeah.
That's what you heard.
Yeah.
And then you go, I don't know what the fuck to do with that.
Well, you go, okay, there's something.
Right. Now, what do you do with that? You go over to a tape recorder and you go.
I kind of have a place in my head
that it goes
with different drawers.
Really? And you retain this?
Yeah.
I wonder
I'm wondering, why don't you think this is something you've heard before? Like you're humming somebody else's tune.
I'm amazed that I would sit there and think how many songs he forgot that are in that drawer.
Well, think of how many songs never got written that people had. Yeah, Robin, you're right. Whatever you just said, I forgot.
Sometimes you think it's something you heard.
Yeah, right. Well, that's where you go, aha.
Right.
You mess around with old blues licks, and you mess around, and you realize, boy, this is fantastic. Oops. Except it's a Hendrix lick. And you think, oh, well, start again. But once in a while, you get a nibble.
Did you ever meet Hendrix?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to play with him?
Not live.
Not live.
Backstage.
You went backstage. Where was this?
Youngstown, Ohio.
Back in the early 70s?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're, what, doing a concert?
Yeah.
James Gang concert at that point?
James Gang, Hendrix, and Sly and the Family Stone.
All on the same bill.
Wow. Well, remember in those days?
Wow, yeah.
You had 3 headliners on a show.
And who opened that show?
We did.
The James Gang.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a show.
Yeah.
And then Sly and the Family Stone, and then I guess Hendrix.
Well, Sly never came out of his dressing room.
Yeah, right. But there's another guy. I mean, he's a difficult guy, right? He's had his problems.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever came out of them like you
Still
did.
going through it, yeah.
I don't think he made it.
No. Do you ever see him around?
No.
No. He's like a recluse.
There's been Sly sightings, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him on some award show or something.
Yeah, but a few months ago, we were reading that he was in a trailer parked outside somebody's house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God you didn't go that route.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And does that give you the shakes at night sometimes? You go, shit, I could have really, really fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I am so grateful to be alive and sober.
So Hendrix is backstage. And what happened?
He's backstage. We're in a, like, dressing room.
Oh.
which is like where a hockey team changes or something, you know.
Not glamorous.
So yeah,
Right.
and he's there, and I finished, and we finished, and we're in the same dressing room. So he's sitting playing his guitar, and I come in with mine.
Right.
And
you have a jam session, so to speak.
a little bit, yeah. I showed him my guitar, and he showed me his.
Do you get intimidated by a guy like that?
Nah, he was a wonderful guy. Of course, I'm intimidated.
By his talent, I mean.
By him. He had an aura. I mean, he had feathers on. I mean, it was terrifying.
Well, you talk about that. I read that Clapton and a bunch of other guys at the time who were considered top guitarists all went to see Jimi Hendrix when he first came on the scene. They went to a club and they all looked at each other and they went, shit, we don't even really play
what the hell are we doing?
What are we doing? That was the famous story.
Generally thought by the community. Yeah, what the hell are we doing?
Did you feel that way?
Yeah,
you did when you played with. When you played with him, did he say, "Oh wow, Joe, maybe we should get together in a studio and do something together," or it never got that far?
No, never got that far. But he showed me his guitar, and I paid attention to how the heavy strings, light strings,
right.
How high are the strings? What's the action? Because he was a tough one, because he was left-handed.
Right.
So everything was backwards. That's why he sounded like that. None of us right-handed guitar players could do what he was doing.
Was he playing a lefty guitar?
No.
He was playing a right-handed guitar
upside
with his
down.
Upside down. Oh, wow.
That's why he sounded like that.
Are you
and that's
kidding?
why we couldn't crack the code.
Oh, my God. That's
See?
fascinating. Yeah.
That's why we were all hitting ourselves in the head.
But that's why you're a great guitar player, because you're a student. You sit there. Those are the guitar lessons you talk about.
Yeah.
Sitting with Jimi Hendrix, it's a master class.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even if it's 3 or 4 minutes.
Right.
And I had a Les Paul, and he looked at that, and he was really, really nice, and just a good guy.
Isn't it weird too? Because Hendrix is, of course, remembered for his music, but also for the excesses, like the drug taking, fucking chicks, getting plaster cast on his dick. It takes away from his legend in a way. It really does.
That's the way it was back then. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
You could get away with a lot of stuff back then that you can't now.
Right.
You probably noticed.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's a whole different universe, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Joe, where do you think rock and roll is going? Speaking of back then and today, like there's not rock radio stations.
Boy, Robin, that's a good one,
Is rock dead?
Yeah, I think so, pretty much.
It's pretty dead because there's not a lot of rock and roll radio stations. And we were talking about this on the show the other day. We were talking about that it's almost like, I think Robin said it, that rock and roll is going to be like jazz in a way. It's going to be just this art form that existed and was big, and then some guys will still play it, but it's not going to have.
It's dead, but it's not dead, but it's not number one. Country's number one.
But I never thought I'd see the day that, rock and roll was such a part of my life.
Howard, think of it. That's what Analog Man is all about.
Right. The new album.
The digital technology is nice, but along with it is this virtual world that we all go in more and more.
Yeah.
And it doesn't exist. It's in a computer. It's an illusion. And we sit in chairs. Our bodies sit in chairs for hours waiting for our minds to come back.
Yeah.
I like side B.
Right.
I like cart machines. It's different, man. It's different for us.
Yeah.
And the problem with the digital technology,
right?
It ate the record business.
It did, yeah.
It ate radio.
So you're not on Twitter, are you?
It ate intellectual property.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that drive you crazy as an artist that, a guy who's like you, like a musician who comes up now, they can't even sell a record because everything's out there for free. People don't go and buy DVDs and CDs.
I know.
They rip them off and that. It does seem unfair, right?
People ask me, what advice do you have for the upcoming musician? I don't have any. I'm trying to figure it out, too.
What is your game plan with the new CD? In other words, it's hitting the stores, I think, today, right? Tomorrow, all right? And you have a new single out. But what's the game plan? Can you really... Well, I guess you could go around the country and play these songs. It's almost like starting over. Joe Walsh is one of the biggest names in rock, and yet it's almost like you're starting over again. You got to go out, play for audiences and introduce them to this music.
It's a fresh start for me.
So what are you going to do? What's the game plan?
Well, the deal with everything is, in lieu of record companies, the way to do it now is the social network. You have to get visible.
Yes.
If you can make people aware that you have a record out, they'll find it.
Right. So your game plan is to use social media and sort of get because like look at some of the great artists. Paul McCartney just came out with an album. Nobody gave a shit. You know what I mean? Paul McCartney. It's like everyone has an even playing field now. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to bank on your name. It's just that you know. I feel great for guys like you who have an audience already, and you can go out and do a James Gang tour, or you could go do a Joe Walsh tour, or you could do an Eagles tour. So you're fine. Nothing's going to bother you. But when you put out new music like you just have, that's the conundrum. That's the thing that you can't figure out.
You can't assume that you're going to have a hit record.
No.
What's platinum now? 50,000 copies.
That's right. Go make a living doing that.
Woo!
Right. How many records how many records between the Eagles and the James Gang have you sold? And Joe Walsh solo stuff?
I don't know.
You never counted it up?
I lost count after about 85,000. I was counting them on my fingers.
Somebody said, you mean you really don't know, Joe? Isn't that an impressive number to know for yourself and look back and say, you know what, I can reflect on that number?
Probably, but in that category, I'm not really that big of a fish. Look at somebody like Jeff Lynne.
Now, Jeff Lynne produced your new record.
Yeah.
Jeff Lynne was, of course, of Electric Light Orchestra, ELO, and he's a great
That guy sold some records.
Did he?
Yeah.
More than you?
ELO, I think so.
But if you count the Eagles in your
Eagles,
record,
Eagles.
Eagles are one of the biggest selling bands of all time.
Yeah,
Hotel California, I think,
California
isn't that the
alone.
one album that, I think that's the #1 album for the Eagles ever?
Greatest hits.
Greatest hits.
Greatest hits.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
wow.
go back and forth with Michael Jackson.
What's the best song you ever wrote? Seriously, out of all the songs. I don't know if it was Funk 49, Walk Away. I don't know. I could name Rosemary.
Rosewood Bitters.
Rosewood Bitters. It's more. I think all these great songs. What is the greatest song you ever wrote that you're most proud
The
of?
one you love the most.
Yeah.
Eagles-wise, I co-wrote "Life in the Fast Lane" with
Great
Don
song.
and Glenn.
Right.
Yeah.
Solo-wise, probably Rocky Mountain Way.
Yeah, what a song. Do you still stop and listen to that on the radio? I mean, it's on the radio all the time on classic rock stations. If you hear it, will you stop and listen to it and go, man, that's a good fucking record? Or will
Who
you
wrote
just
that?
Yeah, will you just tune by and say I don't want to hear it again?
You know, one of the things that makes it magic is it's a bunch of guys playing in a room.
Right. Rocky Mountain Way.
You're listening to how it was made.
That groove you can't do with Pro Tools.
No. And you remember when you came up with that, or were you so drunk? Like, was that part of your drunken formula where, like, hey, I get really high and I write? Do you remember any of that process of writing that great song?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What was the process on that one?
I was in Colorado.
Right.
I had left the James Gang. I was worried that I might have made a mistake.
It's scary.
Yeah.
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 Because that was a successful entity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we were doing fine.
Why did you leave?
3-piece band. I just got saturated with playing really loud and being like a kick-ass guitar guy.
Right.
Playing through Marshalls and stuff.
Why, you thought on your own you could, tone it down?
I was hearing all these songs like with a piano.
And they didn't want that. The other two guys were against it.
Kinda.
And also your audience demanded you be a certain sound. So if you went to a piano, you were afraid the audience would reject. So you just said, fuck it, I'll leave the whole thing.
Yeah.
Did those guys want to kill you for breaking up something successful?
No.
Did you call to apologize to them when you got sober?
I didn't have to really apologize. I apologized when I quit. I just said, guys, I can't do this. I'm a musician, too.
Yeah.
And I got to go have a look at that.
And so you were scared. You were in Colorado.
I'm in Colorado. Okay. and I have an album done, which was the Barnstorm album, the first solo album I did. And I'm mowing the lawn. And
you were mowing the lawn.
I was mowing the lawn. Yeah.
Rock stars mow lawns?
I didn't have any words for Rocky Mountain Way, but we had the track done.
Right.
And I'm just dead in the water about this song. What is it about?
You mean you just hear music? There's no vocal. There's no tune, really, except that.
If there were words, I hear where they go.
But you don't have the actual words.
I don't know what they are.
So how do they come to you?
Well, I'm mowing the lawn. I look up, and there's the front range of the Rocky Mountains with snow on them in the summer.
Right.
And it knocked me back because it was just beautiful. And I thought, well, I have committed. I'm in Colorado. It's too late to regret the James Gang. The Rocky Mountain Way is better than the way I had because the music was better. And I got the word bam. And he's telling us this, tells us that, changes it every day. That's about the James Gang's manager.
Right.
We don't need the ladies crying because the story's sad. That's giving up the regret of leaving the James Gang. And I got all those words all at once, and I ran into the house to write the words down. And the lawnmower kept going over into the neighbor's yard and ate the garden. It was an expensive song to write, but...
Oh, I got the chills when you tell me that.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I get the chills because that's such a fucking cool process. I wish I had that ability.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Do you have trouble with your neighbors? You had a problem where some neighbor was like stalking you or something, or you had to go to court with the guy, or there was something, he came over with an...
Oh, yeah, that guy.
What happened there?
He finds pieces of property and builds houses on them.
Right.
And they shouldn't really have houses on them.
Right.
But he has friends at City Hall.
Oh.
And,
it's a complicated life.
I was wishing he wasn't doing that.
Right.
So I didn't help him.
I see. He got frustrated with you.
And he got frustrated, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
It's complicated being Joe Walsh sometimes. But now it seems like it's a lot simpler. You get the wife, you're happy.
Oh, it's so much simpler.
Now, let me say that Joe Walsh's new solo album, Analog Man, is in stores tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Hey, I didn't finish that thought, though, with Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
I mean, you two became this couple, and she says you are the love of her life.
All those songs were about Joe?
Yeah.
She wrote one about me, yeah.
What was the big one about you?
Joe?
Joe just fell asleep.
Yeah.
He's thinking of the name.
I'm trying to I'm embarrassed. I don't
Was it a
remember.
Fleetwood Mac song, or was it from one of her solos?
One of her solos.
One of her solo albums?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stand
Has anyone ever wrote a song for you?
Hell no. I wish you
No,
would.
that's how the song goes, stupid.
Oh, shit. When are you going to write a song about me? Actually, I got a...
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I got an email from Leslie West. He claims he has an idea. He was thinking of me. He wants to write a song about me. I'm very honored.
That's flattering.
I feel like a hot chick.
Well, you better wait till you hear it first.
Yeah.
Give my best to Leslie.
I will. You know, he lost his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but he's doing well.
Yeah.
He has a great spirit about him.
He's a great guy.
And a great guitar player.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Now, there's a guy that could probably be on Rolling Stone's list.
Yes.
Where the hell's he?
Exactly.
He's not on the list either?
That's right. Well, anyway, the legendary Joe Walsh, who is doing so well, happily married now.
Happily
Very
married.
happy for Joe.
And Ringo is your brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law.
Do you
guys
hang?
get together?
Yeah, we hang.
You do.
Do you sign autographs?
Joe, do you sign autographs? Because Ringo has stopped signing everything. That was,
I signed his name for him.
You do.
That's why he got me.
Ringo comes over the house, and it's like a family get-together.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. I mean, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah,
He says, sign all these albums for me. I'm done.
You get along with each other?
Very well.
You do.
you know, he's so down to earth. Paul too, for what those guys have been through.
Right.
And the really good positive energy. And in terms of a family, I got this huge family that came along with my wife, and it's a dynamic I'd never been around because they're really close. And learning to be part of is one of the things that has opened me up.
Right.
And made me feel, given me confidence, which is something I never had. That's why I drank.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're not drinking. I'm glad you're healthy.
So having Ringo, his insight and his wisdom has helped me with my life and as a human being, besides the music part of it.
Yeah, he seems like a real good. I mean, I don't know. I got to know Paul McCartney a little bit. What an amazing guy.
Yeah.
I mean, something else.
Yeah.
I always say, you talk about guys who strip it down, so to speak, who are analog men. I was talking the other day, I heard a song of his that I hadn't heard in years. It was from his first solo album after he left the Beatles. It was Turn It Up. What's the name of that song?
Ooh You.
Ooh You. And I love this song, Ooh You, but it's so fucking stripped down. And in fact, he's in his studio doing it, and he says, "Turn it up." He's talking to the engineer. It became part of the song.
Yeah,
that's the shit I like.
That's analog.
That's analog. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You and Ringo, you and Ringo ever swap sisters? Would that ever happen? Like you do him?
Howard, I'm not going to stoop to that mentality. Let's go get our asses waxed.
Right. Listen, this. Oh, and by the way, the single is "Lucky That Way." I'll play a little.
Is that right? I want to hear. Yeah.
Let me see. "Lucky That Way" sounds like your life now. Joe Walsh, the new solo album, Analog Men. And that's in stores tomorrow. Why do you always do that? In a lot of your songs, when you're singing about yourself, you say, "I'm not that special." I'm like, you know.
But you may know me.
Even like in Life's Been Good, you're like, "Yeah, my fans love me, but I'm not that great an artist." Why do you put yourself down in your own songs?
Well, I could either explain it or you could listen to the song.
It's in there. Okay.
Oh, it's in there. All right. It feels good to be you.
It does. Listen to the chorus.
I am.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the chorus.
When you wrote you had a Maserati, did you really have the Maserati?
It would be logical.
But do you really have the palm trees in the swimming pool now?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Here we go.
Here we come. This is it.
There you go.
I'm just lucky that way.
Yeah.
What is it, Gary? How dare you interrupt my... He's handing me a piece of paper.
Let me tell you what it is.
Oh, here. Oh.
That's a song that Stevie wrote for Joe. God, she must have loved you.
What was the song?
The song is called "Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You," as Joe said. And I thought he was talking to me. Listen to this lyric. "You know I'd rather be alone than be without you, don't you know? She'd rather be alone than be without you." What the fuck did you do to this girl? You must
He's just lucky that way.
You must have banged her silly. Were you in love with her?
As a sister.
Really? God, she was. I mean, I imagine this was the 70s, right?
I mean, she's like a soulmate, you know?
You still talk to her?
Once in a while.
This was like in the 70s, right? I mean, was there a more beautiful, physically beautiful woman than Stevie Nicks and all that talent? I mean, you would think that's the whole package. I mean, that would be my fantasy.
Were you not into her?
No, I was, Robin. That didn't come out right. All I'm saying seeking refuge, kind of, in each other's presence.
Because you both were into drugs at that point?
Kind of, yeah, there was that part of it, but we were on the road, we had careers, we were both lonely.
Why did you never marry her? Did the thought cross your mind at one point?
No.
And you never thought that way even in terms of like a powerful couple? Like, oh my God, there's two incredibly powerful people in rock
Or
and roll.
maybe that would have been too much.
Well, the relationship came and ran its course, as rock and roll relationships do.
Does it get competitive? Like, do you sit there and she was in Fleetwood Mac at that point, I guess?
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't.
No.
She was a solo, or she was in Buckingham next.
Yeah.
And does it get competitive? Is that the problem? Like, you could never really marry another singer-songwriter because the two of you sit there and drive each other nuts with that stuff, career?
What made it possible was that we toured together.
Right. So when you're touring together, it's
and we spent all that time together.
But you were not monogamous with her, so she probably got jealous too. Because knowing you back in those days, you were not going to be limited to one woman. True? You weren't going to be limited to one drink and not one woman. You were an addict.
We were both monogamous for that summer.
That's a pretty long time.
Yeah.
So you
A
felt
whole
something for
season.
her. Well, yeah, in rock and roll, that's 10 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. When we stopped touring, we
drifted apart.
I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to.
Look at you. What a life.
But do you think you could have been with somebody as powerful and talented as Stevie?
No, I don't think either of us could have committed to a lasting relationship in the state that we were in.
You surprised Steven Tyler's a judge on American Idol? Seriously. I mean, Steven Tyler's one of the great songwriter, great rock and roll stars.
I don't exactly know why he's doing that.
I had heard that it was for the money. That literally he had gone through so much money that it was like a $10 million payday.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You held on to a lot of your money, even though all the marriages and getting high and everything. How did you manage to hold on to your money? I know you're worth $164 million.
You know that?
I do.
Who'd you hear that from?
Your accountant told me.
He's still got $164 million on
Yes.
his own.
No one told me, but I read it on the internet that you were worth around $164 million. And that makes sense to me, between the Eagles
And all the music.
and royalties and touring. But you could have lost it all, right?
I did.
You lost every dime you had?
Pretty much.
When was that?
When I went into recovery.
No kidding.
And then, in 1994, the Eagles decided to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a clean start.
And they came to you and said, Joe, we're putting you in the band, but you got to get clean, right?
We can't do it without you. And we can't do it unless you're sober. Don and Glenn said that to me.
They saved your life.
It was an intervention. And they were real brothers when they did that.
That's right.
Because that's what I needed.
It motivated you.
You were broke?
So you are not worth $164 million.
No, I'm not.
Right. Because you got to get back, that's a lot of money. Does that bother you? Does that bother you at all that you pissed away a lot of money?
Not the money, the time.
You lost a lot of time in your life.
Yeah. There's like 12 years in there. I wish I had back.
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But, I'm alive. I'm here.
It's true, because when you go through life that way, that high, it's like, wow, I don't even know what the fuck I did. There's so many things I could have learned.
Based on all accounts, I had a great time.
But you don't remember.
I probably remember more.
Yeah, you know more than I do.
I remember doing a TV show, and I wanted you to be a guest,
Howard,
and you
what are you
slept through it.
asking when I'm me all these questions? You know more than
I
me.
know, that's so true. All right, listen, Joe Walsh, it's exciting. New music from Joe. Analog Man is in stores tomorrow.
Hi, Marjorie, I love you.
Marjorie, I love you too, baby. I'm
And
not
Robin,
kidding.
I love you too.
I love you, Joe.
Hope you're feeling better.
JoeWalsh.com is where you can go to get all your Joe information. And Joe, anytime you come and see us, you know I like it. Next time, come back with a full album only about me. America's Sweetheart.
I'm going to call Leslie.
Call Leslie.
I think we could write a good song about you.
I think it's time you two teamed up and wrote a song about
That
me.
would be good.
I don't need you to make amends or anything like that with me. I'm fine with you.
Well, after we write the song, we may need to. Yeah.
The great and legendary Joe Walsh. Thanks, Joe.
Joe.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
what elements would a song about Howard Stern have to contain? If you were gonna get together with Leslie and write a song, what does a Howard Stern themed song sound like?
Funky.
Yeah.
Kind of funky, kind of Ramones.
Little funk, a little punk.
Yeah, yeah, funky punk or punky funk, something like that. Words, parts of it really nice and friendly, and parts of it awful. You know, like Howard.
Reflects his personality.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to talk to Leslie West, and I'll get back to you with more of it.
Cool. I think that would be a great song to hear.
Now, we got to think of stuff that rhymes with Stern. That's your homework assignment.
Burn is my first word. He's got a fire inside him.
Yeah. What rhymes with Stern? Well, no, I'm not going to go there. Great to be back.
Joe, it's great seeing you. One quick thing I was going to ask you. You guys seem very like-minded when you talk about, digital technology and the virtual world and its influence on music. Do you think Howard's an analog man in spirit? The way he approaches his show and the love of the performance and some of the errors that come along with it?
Howard wouldn't be Howard without all those analog years of being on the radio and, like I say, cart machines and stuff. Howard's very good and belongs in the digital age. I know about it too, but Howard wouldn't be Howard without all those years of knowledge and insight of the analog days. That's all I'll say.
All right, Joe. Best of luck with the new album.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Friend and show is Old Friends Week at the Stern Show. Today's Joan Rivers.
Okay.
Okay?
She's got a new book out,
Yes, I know. I read about it in the newspaper yesterday.
You know what it's called? It's very similar to what I think you would title the book.
Yeah,
The first line is, I hate everyone.
That's it.
And then she says, starting with me. But I don't think you feel that way about yourself.
I don't hate myself.
You love yourself.
No, I don't.
I love you. Good morning, Joan.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm a little disappointed because you don't have your ice cream machine anymore.
We got rid of that?
I think so.
That's not right.
I didn't see it. Not right.
We lured you with ice cream, then we took it away.
Very important. Good morning, good morning. Otherwise, I'm fine, thank you.
And you have a new book out, so...
I have a new book called Joan Rivers, I Hate Everybody, and it's the first book of comedy that was ever banned. Very excited.
It's already been banned?
It's been banned by, I'm not allowed to say the name, Costco.
That's kind of cool, though.
Beyond cool.
I mean...
Beyond cool, that means the nice thing is no very fat people will be able to buy it and hide it in their folds.
But everywhere else you can pick it up.
Everywhere else you can pick it up.
Just not if you want to buy bulk
no,
food
you can't
items.
buy it in bulk, can't buy a pallet. You can go to BJ's and buy it.
Well, welcome.
So that's what's going on. I'm thrilled to be here.
Good to see you again, Joan.
It's good to be going on the air like a real big person. And how is Howard now that he's rich?
I think he's doing well. I think he's enjoying this
Who
run
is he
on
on with?
AGT.
He's on with
It's Howie Mandel
and Sharon.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think he's enjoying this run, though.
He should. He should have done this a long time ago.
You've said it since the beginning.
From the beginning. He's terrific.
All right, I'll let you get to Howard.
Thank you.
There's one other interesting thing, Howard. It's funny. Tim had dinner with David Brenner last night.
Yeah.
And David Brenner's like trying to figure out how to reinvent himself and everything. But the question is like, Joan has sort of managed to remain iconic, and I know it's because she's funny. But there's a lot. Maybe it's because Joan just never stops. Maybe that's why. But she certainly put herself in a place.
Well, she's also like, she's willing to say shit that like David Brenner won't.
I guess that's what it is.
She's outrageous.
I got to tell you, I just filled her in on Robin in very broad strokes because she didn't know anything, and she's already got. She cracked like 3 jokes in there that made me laugh my ass off.
Oh no!
No, they're not bad. They're not. They're just stupid. But they're nothing that will insult. Robin will laugh at them, and I would tell them to you, but I want you to laugh at them.
Okay.
Hey, Joan Rivers is here. Joan Rivers just came out with yet another new book, I Hate Everyone, starting with me. It's in stores today. A living legend.
Now, is she calling herself a living legend now?
I'm calling her a living legend. She's an icon, don't you think?
I didn't know if that was in the copy or if you said that yourself.
No, I'm calling her a living legend. I'm calling Joan a living legend.
I certainly think so.
What?
Thank you.
You refuse to do the show without Robin?
I don't do the show unless Robin is sitting there.
Robin's gotten so lazy with this show that she does it from home now.
That bitch has lost so much weight.
That's right.
You can't find me.
I love you on the thing with Howie Mandel and Sharon.
America's Got Talent.
Oh, well, you know the name. I don't have to learn it.
Yeah, why do you need to learn that? Why do you need to be bothered? I enjoy doing it, I believe it or
you
not.
look like you enjoy doing it.
I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And I said, what is left to do in my career except shock everyone with doing a family show?
Yeah.
Really, when you think about it, who would have expected that one?
But you're so cute, and so I go back to NBC when they had you in that closet.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Right. Yeah,
So
long way.
You should have done this a long time ago.
It's funny. Gary was just in here. We were talking about you behind your back, and I said, and he said, we have had so many comics on our show over the years, and we were just naming all the people who kind of have disappeared in terms of their careers. And Gary goes, don't you think it's amazing that Joan Rivers, really think about it, like she's still relevant and funny and like really has a real career as opposed to like a Mercy booking somewhere.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, and it is amazing. So he said, what do you think the secret is? And I said, I think the secret is she's funny. She's
she's actually talented.
I keep looking over.
Yeah, I know, but I can't imagine. Oh, you keep looking over for Robin.
For Robin, I get his stupid voice.
Well, I keep looking for her. I want them to tape a picture of her over there.
What are you people talking about? What are you talking about?
But no, it's hard work. No, yes,
because
funny.
Aren't there days where you go, I don't want to keep up with pop culture?
No.
Honestly.
I don't want to keep up. I don't want, if one more person says, I love John Carson, who gives a shit?
Nobody remembers John.
The man is disintegrated even in his coffin.
Right.
There's nothing left there except 3 bones.
Although I did watch a special on Johnny Carson, and you were a part of it.
And
you were very complimentary to him.
And they cut out the one part, the truth. It's where I called him. And he hung up on me. And they have all these people saying, look who's saying it. The producer who hates me, who I hate.
They cut that out.
And they have the people saying she never called him.
Oh.
And I called the producer. Then they wanted me to do PR for it. And I called them up. I said, you have just perpetrated a lie.
Right.
Well, Johnny's wife, I said, the third wife with the implants.
Right.
Yeah, she was walking the beach looking for him in Malibu. I know how she met him.
Johnny's wife has a say on this special?
Yes, she decided. Alex decided.
Is it true that...
Number 22.
Is it true that your birthday is coming up?
Yeah.
Can I say...
79. How about that
I didn't know
one?
if you gave that out, but...
That's amazing.
Can you believe you're 79?
No. I'm in perfect health. That's the joke. And everyone around me is dropping dead.
Because I can't even believe it's 79. Like, when you wake up in the morning that you even care
I don't even think
about your career. I really can't believe it.
But I love what I do.
Yeah, I know, but like...
Howard, they just banned my book. How fabulous is that?
Yeah, that was weird.
Fabulous. It's some asshole.
Who is banning
But
your
where
book?
was it banned, by the way?
I'm not allowed to say the name, so you have to give me a hint.
Okay, Walmart?
No.
No? Costco? Okay. They banned your book because, the
people that sell pink meat.
It's funny. It says here on the back of your book there are quotes. Wilt Chamberlain said about your book, "If I was alive, even I wouldn't fuck her."
Yeah, that's what I wrote quotes that I thought were appropriate for the book.
Dr. Kevorkian said of your new book, "This author should be euthanized."
That's right. Maria Antoinette was the one they didn't like.
It says, "Let her eat shit."
Yeah, I thought that was a testimonial to their produce department.
So they were afraid that if someone picked up the book jacket, they would see the word shit, and then that would corrupt them.
Meanwhile, they
offend
sell
people.
ammo to children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Who was ever hurt by that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid. But I got so excited because I'm from the generation where they used to ban books in Boston.
Right.
I said, this is fabulous because
Well,
it's
it
a
is
funny,
good.
funny book.
It
and
is funny. In fact, I was looking through the book. As long as we're talking about your book.
Oh, we don't have to.
No. I want to talk about it because there was one quote that I thought was outrageous, and in a politically correct society to say this, I'm going to quote you now. I thought this was pretty wild. Let me find it because I have a lot of quotes.
I have never been politically correct.
All right, listen to this. You write about in your new book the TV show Glee.
Yeah.
You say on Glee, all the homo kids. Now, this is a quote. Okay, because a lot of people aren't saying that kind of stuff anymore. Okay. On Glee, all the homo kids are smiling and giggly, and they spend every day singing in the halls. When I went to high school, the homos spent most of their days hiding in their lockers crying.
That's right.
You feel a show like Glee should be about kids hiding in their lockers, right?
Everybody's happy. The fat girl is singing.
Yeah, right. It's true. In high school, who like where is the reality in that? The fat girl had to hide.
Leah Michelle, whose nose continues around the corner.
You're like, what planet is this?
Yeah, this is not the high school I went to.
Well, maybe the feeling is if they present an imaginary high school where everyone has fun, that all the high schools around the country, all the kids will think gay people are fun. And
Let's
they'll be
include
nice.
the crippled kid on the team. I was on the baseball team. I played so far out. By the time I came in from the outfield, we had to go back again.
Do you think it built your character, Joan, that you were ostracized as a teenager and that you were locked in your locker many times and things like that? Like, in other words, it built character. It can't all be good.
I think it's great sometimes. And I'm being serious now.
Go ahead.
That you get a couple of knocks. I think the stupidest thing is all these little crappy kids who can't play. They all get like a certificate.
A trophy.
You were good. You get a trophy. No.
You were bad.
Oh, you know what I hate the most?
What?
When people say to the child, the divorce had nothing to do with you. Meanwhile, your big head stretched your mother's vagina.
and
she's flapping in the wind.
It's so big that the husband didn't want to bang her
That's
anymore.
it. The husband and 4 people were in there.
You make a good point. Now, on Octomom, you wrote that her uterus is like a sausage maker.
Yes.
You're right. It's true.
Right.
I spoke to her the other day. Wait, I'm gonna give
Did
you a
you
couple of
talk
quotes.
to her?
I did.
Can't talk to her.
We did speak to her.
Totally crazy. You can't.
Yeah,
say.
she's totally wild. She just doesn't shut up.
And why won't, nobody's addressing that these children are trapped in a house with her.
I know. Well, thank God she's not Kate Gosselin.
Now, what about this? Can you be sued in your book for writing about Oprah in this manner? Do you know? Did you check this with lawyers?
I checked this with lawyers, and it's a humor book.
I see. Because it says here.
That's how you get away with it.
It's a humor book.
You say Oprah is Stedman's beard.
That's what I think.
Yeah, you say, yeah, sure, Oprah denies it, but even Abraham Lincoln didn't have this big a beard. I know Oprah's opened schools and raised money and given away big, Buicks and things like that, but so what? She can't keep her weight at a reasonable level because that's important to you, right? I mean, someone has to keep their weight at a reasonable level. One day she weighs 140. 2 days later, she's being fitted for a boat cover. How long did it take you to write this vicious book?
Yes, I mean, did this
Honestly.
just pour out of you, or did you have to labor over it?
You're such an angry woman.
I did. It's funny.
Are you angry? Are you an angry woman?
Oh, I think I'm furious.
Yeah, you are. What do you think you're furious about, honestly?
About the stupidity of everything.
Do you think that's sort of
Seriously,
to go deeper?
I'm
Does
not
it go back
making
to your mother and father? No, I'm being serious for a second.
Yeah.
Do you think,
Like your personal anger.
Do you think you're so angry that it goes back to like your mom and dad not treating you properly?
They were very good parents.
Were they?
Yeah, and I had what they call a very good childhood.
They understood you?
To a
Then
point.
what happened?
I get a feeling they didn't.
I had my father was a doctor. He worked hard. My mother was a housewife. She did her best.
Right.
They cared about the girls, my sister and I. did they sit there and worry? Like I worried everything that Melissa did.
Right.
I doubt it.
Is your sister still alive?
My sister's still alive.
Is she totally jealous of you and your career?
Probably. But
she married woman?
She married, 2 children, both did well. She's a lawyer.
Are you angry that she had the marriage that lasted and that she's happier than you?
She's not happy than I am.
She isn't? Oh, she's miserable?
I'm very happy.
Is she happy in her marriage?
She's happy. Well, he died.
Oh, he died. So she is happy.
Well, look at the age.
Yeah, right. How many guys last that long?
These men are dropping like flies.
You're not kidding. So when you write a book like this, you sit down, and how long does it take you to write a book?
I wrote it it's a humor book. It's just what I think about everybody.
Right.
And what I think about everything. Children on planes.
Right. Terrible, right?
Well,
what do you do?
Where is Casey Anthony when you need her?
Right.
How are they supposed to get around, Joe?
I don't care. When I had Melissa, we went on a plane. I would bring wrapped gifts. Like, she had a Barbie doll, so I'd wrap up a pair of shoes. Every half hour, she got another little present that she had to open and play with. She was my responsibility to keep her quiet.
So you kept her quiet by doing that on the plane. That's very fair to the other passengers.
That's the only way you should do it.
Right. You planned ahead.
Or chloroform it. I mean, you got 2 choices.
Yeah, because I went to the movies the other day. I went to see Avengers, which is a scary movie to bring a 5-year-old to. And these 5-year-olds, I mean, you can't do that. You can't bring a 5-year-old to a movie like that.
And God forbid you turn around and say, please keep your child quiet or get out.
Oh, I told the woman to get the fuck out.
Good.
Yeah, I really did.
You should.
Yeah, I'm glad she didn't punch me in the face, but I mean, I was really pissed. The kid's going, Mommy, I'm scared. I'm scared. And I go, get her the fuck out of here.
Take him out.
Right. I'm angry too.
I took Cooper out of Mary Poppins. He got scared of that ugly Mary Poppins, so he left.
Your grandson got scared at Mary Poppins?
When he was young.
I'm worried about this kid.
Well, listen, an ugly woman with an umbrella.
Do you get jealous of female comics, particularly female comics who, like, you kind of see, like Lisa Lampanelli right now is very hot, right?
Well, to a point. How many black I fucked him jokes can you do?
So you're not thrilled with her?
She'll cool off. No, she's a one-note comic. She's fine, but she's not. Here we go. She's fine.
Why are you being diplomatic?
Because she's going to come after me, and she's probably a very nice girl.
Oh, my.
No, but I'm
I
saying,
don't think
like some people say Lisa Lampanelli is the new Joan Rivers. You know, they're always looking for the new Joan Rivers. But you feel she has not earned that title.
Oh, no. She's very good on a certain level.
Right.
And Joan Rivers, we don't need a new one. We've got one.
And I think this sounds terrible. It's 79. I think I'm unique. I think I'm very lucky.
Well, you are unique.
And I think I'm the best stand-up alive today. How about that?
But you're not gracious, let's say,
no,
to
I'm not
like
gracious.
Lisa. Right. You're like I don't need to be gracious to Lisa. Like you don't feel like, hey, look what I've created. I've created a job for a lot of women.
Are you gracious? I'm
not gracious.
I'm fighting for where I love what I do. I do it great, and I get out of my way.
So if you see Lisa Lampanelli, do you go up to her and say, "Oh, you're doing fine," but you don't embrace her?
I'm doing. She started with me one time.
She did?
About something. I thought, first of all, I didn't even know who she was.
Right.
So then they said, well, Lisa Lampanelli said, they didn't use her on the comedy special. Right. My comedy thing. So she started doing a lot. I kept saying, who is she?
Right.
And then I saw her stuff. And every time you see her, it's still, I fucked a black guy, I got a black guy, I need a fucking black guy. Okay, let's get a second story in here.
You fucked many black guys.
Oh, my God.
And you don't dwell on it.
Melissa's furious.
She never even talked about it.
I've talked to a point.
By the way,
Melissa gets upset because she's jealous.
In your new book, you talk about black people, and you say...
I talk about everybody.
Yeah, and you say that you feel black people already have to figure out what to call themselves.
Yes.
You say in the book that, when you were a young girl, everyone said colored, and then all of a sudden they wanted to be Negro. Then you say they wanted to be black. Now they want to be African American. You said, white people aren't that bright. We can't follow along. Pick a name and fucking stick with it.
Pick a name and I'll do it.
You say this in the new book.
Yes, the book is hilarious.
So there's wisdom in this book.
Thank you, Howard. There's wisdom.
And talk about when you used to fuck black guys. Melissa's real father is Malcolm X, you reveal.
Well, no, actually it's Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington is
I went
Melissa's
for
father.
looks.
That's right. A lot of people don't know that. 79 years old.
Yeah, but I just got my checkup.
And you're still fighting with these young comics.
You're goddamn right.
Maybe that's what keeps you alive.
And when they come over to me and they say, you opened the door, and you want to say, sweetheart, I am still opening those doors. Doors you won't even see for 10 years.
And you say your health is good. Have you been to the doctor?
Yeah, all the time.
And you probably go like constantly, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure you're going to stay alive.
Yeah.
You're checking everything.
Well, Melissa always says things like, if you get pains in your left arm and short of breath, that's good. It means you're losing weight.
Don't check that one.
Don't check that, Mother.
Can you even count back how many years it's been since you lost your virginity, or you've lost count?
Well, it's all grown back.
You're kidding. You haven't gotten laid in so long that your virginity
I wouldn't
grew
know. This hotel has been closed so long.
Your hymen grew back.
Oh, it's so sad.
I hope you're right about that.
I can marry a Hasidic because I'm pure
You're
again.
pure. You could act.
Does Joan Rivers masturbate at 79?
That's a good question.
That's a wonderful question. And we won't go there. Ask Jane Fonda with her new body.
Boy, she looks good, right?
She does, yeah.
She looks
You
great.
got to admire her. In fact, someone said to me the other day, young guy, he goes, this sounds weird, I guess, but I guess Jane Fonda was up here promoting, or he saw her on TV, and he said, I'd fuck her.
Yeah. Don't you look... Oh, all right. This is one of my big pet peeves. Beautiful older women and a real schlumpy guy with stuff coming out of his nose. I might fuck her. And you want to go, she wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, this guy, I think he was missing half his limbs, and he was ready to go fuck.
That's a turn on to me, though.
Hey, listen, compared to who you're dating, it's a pleasure. Are you dating?
I'm not dating now.
Why won't you say it? I want to know, does a 79-year-old woman still need to masturbate? Honestly, but a straight answer. You do.
Everybody.
Wow. I thought that maybe the desire leaves.
The desire never, and the look for romance never leaves.
Wow.
But
is it romantic masturbating?
Oh yeah, well, I always put a picture up.
You still pray for
I'm moving
romance.
to women now, though.
You still pray for romance?
Yeah, I would still love a romance.
You never made it with a woman, did you?
No,
never.
Never truly, never even had like a girl crush. No.
Right, girl crush is silly.
Yeah, that's so stupid. What are you talking about?
Where did you get your vibrator
The
from?
boobies get in the way.
Where did you get your vibrator from? QVC?
My vibrator, I got what I did.
You got to put out a line.
I had a vibrator show on vibrators on my daytime show.
Yeah.
So this vibrator that I have is so old. It says, beat the Japs. It was made in World War II.
Let me understand something with you. You're at war with everybody.
Yeah.
Isn't it true that you met Will Ferrell? I'm going back now a couple of years.
Yeah. Very
2005 Golden Globes. Will Ferrell was on the red carpet. You were doing interviews. And you said he was very rude. Now, he seems like a guy who's nice to everybody.
Well, I was talking to Mike Nichols, interviewing Mike Nichols on the air. We all know. Live on E. And Will Ferrell, Mr. Important, walked up, turned Mike, and began to have a conversation with him. Not on the air with me.
Oh, that's
Do
funny.
you understand?
But isn't that kind of funny?
You son of a bitch.
Wait
Who
a
do you
second.
think you are? You big stupid elf.
Do you think that was meant intentionally to be funny? Because that sounds funny to me. That like you're.
It wasn't funny.
It wasn't.
When Robin Williams does something funny, you know it's funny.
Right.
When Dustin Hoffman, no, this was just an egocentric asshole.
But I know you love big moments. You know to recognize a moment. When that guy did, why didn't you confront him on
I
the
tried.
air?
He wouldn't stop talking to him. It wasn't
That's
funny.
That's funny.
It's funny, but
so you
it
mean
wasn't
you went
funny.
up to this guy and you're scared? Listen, you.
Look,
hello,
Mike. Hello.
So
They probably have it somewhere on E on tape.
So you're convinced that Will Ferrell isn't a genius who constructed a situation for you that was brilliant?
This was called extraordinarily rude.
Wow.
An ego beyond egos. And you're funny, but you're not that funny.
Is it true that you claim, now, again, I can't even believe this number, that you've had a total of 739 cosmetic procedures?
I did it as a joke.
That is a joke,
and
right?
some moron picked it up and wrote.
I said, how is that even? You would not be alive.
What would you have
I would be
left
covered
to
in
do?
bandages.
Yeah.
And by the way, let me say, how about how Letterman all of a sudden has embraced you?
Isn't we really like each other.
It's about fucking time.
Yeah, well, at least he does it. Leno, that asshole.
Scumbag.
Scumbag.
Let's call it the way it is.
That not funny, lucky.
That motherfucker.
Effer, yeah.
Come on, let's go, baby. You think you're angry. Come on.